filter out this kind of background stuff, so yeah, keep speaking.
Oh, okay. Yahoo! Oh my god. Right away I see my mod. He called me. Oh my goodness. Nice. You did super well with the pixel art, by the way. I always liked your pixel art for like every single one of your interview things.
Yours, like Rira's, was also something of a nightmare at first.
Okay.
Because I was like, I looked at the design, I was like, okay, this looks doable, okay. Then when I actually got around to it, I was like, wait, these sleeves, they puff out, they change color. Oh god.
Gotta keep you on your toes, you know.
Because yeah, every time I try to like go around with people's different pixel arts, I'm like, what have I done before which looks similar, or what have I done before that I can try and base this around? And when I got to yours, it's like, there are so many layers in this that I can't just go and find a skeleton that I've made. So it's like, guess I'm doing from scratch again. Here goes.
At least it's not my my new design that's gonna show up in like the next 5 months, so that's okay, because the next one is, yeah, it's already like I have the model and everything. I just need to get the right
boy,
all the shit that I need for 2.0 re-debut. Wow. Yeah, but
yeah, when I got my current design now back, I was like, oh shit, I need to repixel this out. Oh god. Because
you love our 2.0s.
Because yeah, it was one hecking complex one, and I was like, when I first got it back, I was like, god damn, that is fancy, but at the same time, god damn, this is going to be hell for whoever I shoot it over to.
Oh god. Oh god. That's so true. Oh god.
Because yeah, let's say for like art references and whatnot, I just sent my old PNG, then sent a bunch of Victorian bartending outfits and a certain character out of a manga, and was like, okay, body shape, follow that manga character. Everything else, top half, just keep it a vest, ribbon, whatever. And bottom half, I will leave completely up to your discretion. And they came back with boots.
Yeah, congrats on the new, I saw it. I was like, oh, it's pretty nice. Also, you have a name for this now, for your interview stuff. It was like Moonlight Flower? Yeah. Wait, no, is that just the bar itself?
I'm just bothering to call the show just Moonlight Flowers after the bar, because yeah, figured why not. Because most people aren't doing this kind of streaming gig full time for the most part. Everyone is kind of doing it as a second thing. And depending on how you look at it, it's moonlighting, pretty much. Just the act of taking a second job in off hours, so yeah.
Well, it's something. At least it's a name. God. I need so much water. Holy shit. Can feel it already.
Christ. Do you get hangovers easy or nah?
Usually, like, I have to, like, I try to not, like, get myself, like, super sick the next day. So I have, like, I chug, like, 5 water bottles before I sleep.
Hold up.
And so I kind of like T-pose and like everything kind of just goes slush, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But then the next morning I'm not like super deceased, you know, like how people have like the headache and everything. I just get the nudge, yeah.
Oh god, yeah. The headache normally comes from the fact that alcohol remained in your bloodstream and went to your head, basically. So for the most part, if you remove the alcohol in whatever way, flush it out, then usually you'll be fine. So if you do vomit it all up or whatnot, then yeah, generally speaking, you won't get the heavy hangover the next day.
I'm wondering if I should did that. Dang.
If not, it's more or less a case of use the bathroom often when you're drinking. That way it flushes everything out.
When was that? Oh god, I don't even want to think about that. That's a whole different story for a different time.
Oh boy.
My poor friend. So many. So many memories that I wish to forget. But then you stand still and you remember them, and then you cringe in real time. Oh,
Oh, good
beautiful
lord.
moment.
Okay, let's see. Alright, might as well get us started actually.
Okay.
Alright, so welcome to Moonlight Flowers. Today we have Rilu. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Nice. Okay. Hello. The name's Rilu, captain of the Star Beam Brigade. I'm an alien from the planet C8H10N402.
What's in that?
Yep. Yeah. If you do look it up, well, you'll know right away. But anyway, yeah, my space crew and I reside on the Starbeam Enterprise. It's a beautiful, beautiful spaceship, and our goal is universe domination, one galaxy at a time, and spreading my space coffee business. Ooh. So since the brigade is still growing, I still have earthly duties and streaming to fund the ship. Yeah, and I do a lot of variety streaming, and if I play at the captain seat, please don't tell my engineers. Yeah.
Quite the background you've built up for yourself, eh, Captain?
You're right. Took a while, but
So
that's
what
what
was
we'll get
the
into.
specific inspiration for this kind of stuff?
Okay. So when I first started the VTubing, I think it's been like almost 4 months. I think close to 4 months already. Since I started streaming. But when I first made the character, it was kind of like on the spot. I like put up a character generator. I said, what do I like? Do I like the color red? I like space, and yeah, basically all of that. And I like the hairstyle, so I just put it all together. But like when I started everything, I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I am. Like, what are we? And then like one of my engineers was like, hey, should probably do something with that, like build up a community. I said, okay, we'll make a brigade. And then like a week or 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, probably, I was like, hey guys, we're now a space brigade. Congratulations, I am a space captain. And they were like, oh, okay. And then, but the problem now is that since I didn't really, I don't have that space captain look. Every time I get a new space cadet to join the brigade, I have to tell them, yeah, I'm a space captain. I may not look like it, but I'll look like it in the next 4 to 5 months. So bear with me. I'm so sorry.
Congratulations on your promotion, I suppose. Good lord.
That's true.
Seems like one of your fellas is here as well. You've got a shout in chat saying captain.
Captain, let's go, BB. So glad to see you guys can make it. I'm vibing.
But yeah, the moment I heard the whole spiel about space captaincy, whatnot, and an Enterprise, I was like, wait, is this Star Trek? Hold up.
I do watch Star Wars, but not Star Trek enough. But
enough.
A bit of the I guess like the uniform, like recently made like uniforms for the crew.
Oh yeah, I saw that stream actually. That does look quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit was kind of like inspired by like a lot of stuff like Star Trek, Mass Effect, and like Star Wars. So they're kind of like combined and put together.
So all the sci-fi kind of stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, it's really nice, and I'm glad the drip is great for my crew, because the drip that I'm gonna show later is it needs to match,
Fair enough. In which case, let's see. So your current design then. So you said you just put it all together just at once, just not necessarily with much thought.
Yeah, like I think when I started the whole VTubing stuff, I kind of like just ran. I literally ran through everything. Made the accounts at the beginning of November, like literally right after my birthday. It was like November 7th. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like I'ma do the VTubing
November
stuff, and then
7th.
made
God
account.
damn it.
Wait, I thought do we share the same birthday? I think we do, right?
I'm November 7th, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I saw your birthday on Heroes, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, God.
Let's go, baby. Birthday twins.
Christ.
Oh god. Yeah, but I made the account like right after. And then I think I commissioned a bunch of people. This is where I was like, oh, let me open up the character generator. What do I like? Puts everything together. And then I was like, okay, I like this. And then I threw this like character generator thing to like everyone, my model artists and my I guess I would call it a beta character sheet, because it's not my official one, but I threw it at my character sheet and my model artist. And one thing is that don't give the generator to the character sheet and the model artist at the same time, because they're both going to come back with like different ideas. And that's what happened, and that's why I don't have a character sheet right now, which is still in the works right now, because yeah, it doesn't look like my model that much.
Oh boy. One step at a time, I suppose. One step at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like that's why I said that when I did the whole VTubing stuff, it feels like a sprint. I kind of did, because in a month, a month after commissioning all that stuff, I got everything back. I got the model art. I got like I got the character sheet that I can't even use anymore. I got a bunch of art commissions too, with the overlays and stuff. And then I debuted in like December 14th, so I really sprinted the whole VTubing stuff.
That was like, yeah, a month and 7 days. Like, a month and a week. Christ, that's fast, in which case.
Yeah. Yep, and I was like, I dived in head first, and now we're here.
So, specifically, how was debut itself for you?
Oh, for how well did my debut go?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it was, I would call it like everyone else's debut. It's like one's debuts always do better than like their current streams. I think in like terms of mine, I think it was a pretty good size. Yeah, because like when I compare like I guess like the average views to like what I have right now, I guess it's very close. So it wasn't a super whatchamacallit it, like a super big one, like 100 views, you know? I think it was around like 70 at max, I think. But
70 is really good numbers though for someone starting out. Yeah.
Like, cause I didn't make sure to network first before I did the debut stuff. Like I said, I feel I sped run everything. It was crazy. I may or may not have accidentally leaked my character design too very early on, so I didn't get to do the whole like, oh guys, with this many followers, I'll show my shoes. I didn't get to do that at all because my character design was already out there in the wind.
I didn't really bother with that kind of stuff either, because I was like, character's a character, here you go.
Yeah, I wanted to hype for like, that's why I sprinted again. Well, like, I had the whole, like, debut thing, like, woohoo! I was surprised, too, because I think when I wanted to do the VTubing stuff, like I said, like, oh yeah, like the max viewers I have to see, like 10. If I can get 10 people watching me consistently, we are Gucci. And now we're bigger. Which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say, once you're at double digits, you've surpassed quite a lot of the crowd so far. Anyhow.
That is true. I've seen a lot of people, and there's so many, like, VTubers. Like, I think when I started the whole VTubing stuff, I was like, I think a month before I started the VTuber stuff is when I got introduced to VTubers.
Oh,
I'm not really like super deep in the community in terms of like knowing all the big stuff. I mean, later on I started learning who else was in the community. But the first two VTubers that I like look up to, and if I ever met them, like ever, would be Honora, which is Niji Sanji, Anae, Kuzuha. Like, those two are my favorite ones. And so I was like, oh, the whole 2 weeks of and then I learned about Hololive and all that other stuff. But I was like, oh yeah, I could do the VTuber stuff, and then everyone's talking about like each soul and all that stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm just learning about everyone else.
Because, yeah, getting started with the VTuber stuff is, let's see, I'll say it's very easy. It's just daunting to keep going, I'll say. So, have you kept yourself going for these past 4 months?
Like, I have a lot of hobbies, and I feel like if it was quarantine, I didn't have to be a VTuber in the first place. The thing is, I think that keeps me going is that I do have, like a crew actually watching me, and I don't know, like they're coming. I feel like I want them something. Like they're always constantly showing, and hence why I'm doing all the. I guess the reason why my model only bust up because I wasn't I was going to even continue this to begin with. I thought I was going to be done like after 2 months, but here I am, still on my 14th week, 15th week of streaming. I think consistently, yeah, like 3 times a week. It's been crazy, but like I said, I wasn't expecting to at least have some sort of like solid viewership, if that makes sense. And since I'm very thankful to that, and my crew is basically my community, I do want to show them like exciting things. Hence why I have like new things prepared for them and bigger stuff like later on. Also, since I've switched from like gaming into more, I guess, other showcases I can actually do, because I don't only want to just do gaming, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make plenty of sense. In that regard, what kind of content do you find yourself producing apart from streams? In which case?
Oh, aside from well, the thing is that I've been very lazy in terms of like doing anything outside of like streaming, I guess. Funny, because at the beginning of my VTubing stuff, I did a lot of like meme edits, if that makes there's a couple of meme edits that I've done, and every time I look, I'm like, oh my god, should I return to this? Like I did a lot of effort at the beginning, and then every time I retweet it, now that I have like more people looking at me, a lot of people shot me to this, and I was like, yeah, I did. Like I do it. But aside from like the streaming stuff, if you include what I did at the beginning, I've done like done like voice dubbing. I've done singing, but I've never done like a cover before, if that makes sense. Because I don't really have the tools, or I don't have like an idea of how I do like the whole like singing stuff. So hopefully that could be in the works.
Fair enough.
I've done drawing. I've done like meme drawings, if that works.
I've seen a lot of bread around. Good lord, I've seen a lot of bread around.
I hope you like Will Ross bakes fresh bread every day. And you open it again.
Christ. Fresh bread every day. How the heck? Anyway, give me just a moment to adjust something, by the way, because yeah. Let's see, what Discord server works best for you, by the way, like in terms of location?
Oh, like location? As in like where I usually show up in Discord?
No, as in terms of, what's it called, ping-based?
Ping-based? Ping-based would be like, I mean, my Discord, I guess.
Okay, I'll try shove it on this for a moment and see if that works any better, because you're cutting out just a tiny bit here and there. Alright, okay, I think that should probably solve the issues, 50-50. Anyway, yes, do continue. So what was this about daily bread?
Oh, yeah, daily bread, yeah. So, lately, in terms of content that I've been producing recently, with the whole gaming streams and stuff, I wanted to like spread it out a little bit more, because like gaming streams, they can go like a certain way, but then I do want to show myself as a variety streamer, if that makes sense. So I always I want to say like I do know how to do a lot of stuff. If I could sing, I can draw, I can write, but like a jack of all trades, but not really good at like a certain thing.
Hey.
Yeah. So I kind of like showcase that. So I like sometimes I might doodle something dumb on a stream. Like I have a couple of like things or like sections I call. Like for example, I do one really dumb stream where I take random images from the internet, or at least people who send me images, and then I draw myself over it. I call it draw over me.
Oh, Christ.
And then we have like Rilu Ross Bakery. I turn VTubers into bread. And
Oh boy. Yeah, I think
there's
I
that.
think I witnessed that in a Discord call of you just picking out people and turning them into bread.
Oh yeah, you were there. You were there at the initial one, actually. Like,
Oh, that was the start of
initial
the
one.
idea? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even think of making it a stream until like later on. I was like, I might as well just make more people as bread. Yeah.
Oh boy, because yeah, you pumped out a lot of bread, and
I did.
I think you came in drunk. Maybe. 50-50.
It might have been the time I also was taste testing that Haagen-Dazs alcohol ice cream. Anyway, but yeah, aside from that,
Haagen-Dazs, fancy, real fancy.
it was really fancy, but really good. Oh.
Because yeah, over here, a small little tub of Haagen-Dazs costs like 20 or 30 bucks. So it's like, oh shit, that's expensive.
Wait, for real? 20 to 30 bucks?
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, down under, it's bloody expensive.
Yeah. I guess import maybe.
Importing ice cream's a bit interesting, to say the least.
Importing ice cream. Oh god. But yeah, aside from drawing, I've done like I guess like voiceover. Well, no, I've only done that like once. But like I've shown my actual editing on stream before.
Oh, okay.
I've shown my writing before on stream. So I think
that's interesting because writing's a bit troublesome to get people into, I'd say.
Yeah. So like again, you remember how I said I have a lot of hobbies, and the reason why I'm a jack of all trades in my terms, but like not really good at anything. I used to like write a lot, like years ago, and I still have like stuff up on like a Wattpad, and people still comment and like it. Oh no. Yeah. If anyone finds that, I'm gonna delete everything. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Okay, there was a fella I knew whose digital footprint was way too large to the point where when I looked up his handle, I was like, "Oi, buddy, you're really going to start streaming when I can look this far back into your history?"
Ayah.
For reference, that was Blue, and that guy. How does one put it? When he first started up, he went with the handle BlueBlade11, and he had never changed that handle for the entire time he had been on the internet.
Oh my god!
So
Blue.
When I googled it, yes, a lot popped up. A heck of a lot popped up. There was an SAOOC on there, on an SAOOC wiki. Oh my god, that was gold to read. But yeah.
Now I'm gonna check that out after this stream. I need to clown that gorilla.
He's gone through and deleted my stuff, but if you find a Wayback Machine link, you can probably find it. But yeah.
Oh my god. Oh Blue. Oh
that
Blue.
guy.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, buddy, you need to like cover your tracks, man. Your digital footprint's a bit too much here.
Jeez. Yeah, like I think I mean my current full name for my VTuber, I mean it does hint to like my old or my common like username.
Oh,
but like you can't really find it anywhere else. So I think I did pretty well in terms of like covering up. Though I did have to remove because I completely forgot I had like my personal Twitch account like linked to my my Discord for like the first couple of weeks. I was on Discord as a VTuber, and so I was like, wait a minute. Because I got like a notification, so has followed you on, blah blah blah, twitch.tv, and I was like, wait, this is not my VTuber. Then I gotta remove it. So someone knows my actual personal Twitch account, but yeah.
Oh boy. Let's say for me, if anyone found me on Steam in the past I'd like to say like 9 years before last week, they would have known my actual name.
Oh my god.
But it's
You did delete all the stuff, right?
it's such a common name that it just didn't really matter, basically. But
Oh.
once I released my design, I was like, added measure. Just drop it from there.
But yeah, back on the fanfic stuff, yeah, like I have my whole like a specific like writing tag and everything. So I did do that for one stream. I might do it again. I think I called it. I forgot what I called it. It was like something fanfic, blah blah blah. But where I like I literally asked permission. I said, "Hey guys, like you want me to write you a quick fanfic? Just I guess just drop anything." And then I took them. I made a fanfic in like 15 minutes. And then I switched to like...
Yeah, I think I saw that in the morning once and I was like, oh god, this person's actually... Oh boy.
The funny thing is that I think people took it too seriously. They thought I was actually gonna like write like a full length, like, in-depth fanfic about them. And I was like, no, you guys have not seen my writing before. I am gonna meme the shit out of you. I hope you like it. So that's what I did.
So what kind of writing style do you like gravitate towards? Like, is it just meme writing or is it more so actual prose and whatnot?
Well, I like back in my day, I used to like write in like first person, like but then I think during my time when I was like really into writing, I actually do have a lot of OCs. I like my fantasy writing and like my mystery writing. And lately, just because I finally learned how to actually commission art, because you know, as a VTuber, you have to learn how to commission art. I'm kind of itching to return back to that one fantasy kind of sci-fi type of story that I was making in general. It was like all my OCs kind of like put into the same universe together. So I'm very tempted, like very itching to like get art of them, return back to my writing time. But at the same time, I'm like, would that be interesting? Would that be interesting to have some sort of like writing VTuber? Because I feel like most of my streams, like for me to get shit done lately, I have to do it on stream. Like I've noticed that. Like for example, I think I aside from like the whole writing and the drawing stuff, I also and the recording like voice lines for like a voiceover of some sort of editing thing I was doing. I was also kind of you know the uwu rap, right?
Oh god.
Yeah. So boy. I was doing that, but I was making it more say-so because what was it? I took the lines, I reversed it, and well, not reversed it, but like changed it a little bit here and there to make it more say-so. Because that's what writers do. We can twist stuff.
Yeah, sure can.
So I have like it's the same flow, but like it's more. I guess I would call it the caffeine Rilu version edition of the uwu rap. Yeah, it's caffeine. I still need to cut everything and edit it, man. I have a lot of work to do. But yeah, I've done that before. I just need to actually get my ass to edit it because it seems like I can never get stuff done without the streams kind of pushing me to finish stuff done. What else have I done? Well, actually, there is one thing that I'm probably gonna. It's like a very high effort type of like stream that I've been doing lately. It's called whose live is it anyway?
Oh boy, do explain.
Yeah, it's like a game show.
Oh god,
based on a game show that mostly it's like an improv game show. I took it.
Whose line is it anyway? Probably. Anyway.
It's basically that. I just took it, and since like VTubers are mostly like PNG for like a big group, I have to make it more of like a voice improv instead of like a physical improv. Because no one can't see that. One thing though, I hope if this actually goes anywhere, maybe like in the future, maybe in like in the far future of like whose live is it anyway, I can have like actual 3D VTubers basically do the improv in like VR chat or something.
Oh yeah, VR
That'd
chat
be
would
very
be a
nice.
good space, yeah.
Because then they can actually do like the physical improv, so that would be very interesting. But I would have to have like VTubers with like full body models, man.
Oh boy.
Man.
But there's
Yeah,
actually...
but that's the thing I'm doing like every month or in the next 2 weeks, right? Yeah, next 2 weeks. Oh my god.
I'll say full body 3D actually is in the range of affordability, depending on one's design. It's more a case of if your design is ridiculously complex, you're probably screwed.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why I'm like wondering if I want a full, 3D model of my like the current one current design I have, or the captain design I have in the future. And so I don't know. We'll have to find out.
It depends mostly on use case, but hey, a VTuber game show mainly about improv. Yeah. I believe we're back live again for the moment, but Rilu has gone ahead and taken a break. Well, a quick bathroom break anyway, but yeah. I swear this is a minimum requirement once every stream at this point. Net shots out and just decides, yes, the one time you need it, the one time a day. Let's be unstable. I swear. Because I think I've had at best maybe 1 or 2 streams, maybe a couple more than that, which have not decidedly tried to kill themselves. Let's see, yep, 1 unstable. So far 1 unstable moment. That's unfortunate.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back. We are back live.
Oh god.
I am not sure what the heck the last thing you heard me say was.
I know everything cut out. I was very boy, and I have a very one-track memory, yo.
Oh boy. I think it was along the lines of asking how many times you've run this show so far.
Oh, I've run the Whose Live Is It Anyway like once, and it was like a test run just to see like how well it would do, I guess. In terms of also like, cause when I think of priority in terms of how to run the show, first one is to make sure that the like contestants are actually like comfortable to be able to do this in the first place. So I did ask the first 4 people that came to mind that I felt was very strong suited towards like voice improv, which was Kazuma, Hina, Eiffel, and Lena.
Oh,
and they did super well. I was so like surprised. They took it up a notch too because they had voice mod and everything. So
oh boy,
it was a lot. It was very chaotic, but a lot of fun. But it also gave me a lot of insight because, like I said, since they were my basically like test guinea pig pilot episode sort of type, I could tell like what were they like rough with, and so I'm gonna have to switch out certain stuff for the next group to make it easier for them, you know?
Because the one thing I mainly remember with this kind of show is, let's see, we had an Aussie version at some point where it was just, I think we called it "Thank God You're Here," pretty much, and it was a case of someone walks in, or the contestant walks in, and they're immediately greeted by someone which says, "Oh, thank God you're here," in whatever kind of situation. And then goes on, drops the whole scenario on them, and then they have to improvise from there.
Yeah, I think there's a version for that for our side as well. But like I said, it's so hard to like choose specific games because like since we're we can only do voice improv, I have to like switch it up or at least change like some of the roles to fit only voice only.
Mm-hmm.
God, if if I'm able to like actually host live moving models, I guess, yeah, without tanking my Wi-Fi, that'd be great. But I'm gonna have to find some sort of alternative to that. But for now, I guess it's just talking PNGs.
Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, it's a good idea, because VTubers as they are, well, you're more or less an entertainer, I'd say. So you gotta think fast on your feet.
I mean, like most, when you think of VTubers, it's like, they're kind of like, how do I say this? They're technically doing, or they're playing some sort of character, you know? They might be playing themselves still, but it's still, you know, it's still a internet persona, if that makes sense. Even if you're playing yourself, you're like still over-exaggerating something.
Yep, more or less, I'd say. Because after all, you need to be entertaining, and real life at times can be dry, to say the least.
That's what my what is it? When I first started VTubing, one of the people who did like a little pep talk when I started VTubing did tell me that they said, unfortunately, real life is very dry. That's true. If people won't like the real life stuff, you gotta over exaggerate it. You know, that's why a lot of I guess like YouTubers are more well known for their over exaggerated personality instead of their calm self. Yeah.
Oh boy, then you've seen what I've dealt with, and oh god. That's the point where I can say, yeah, real life. God, yeah, you never want this shit to happen half the bloody time.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, the most recent dodgy thing I've had happen to me was I was almost decapitated by a chainsaw.
Wait, what? For real? Bro, I can't even think of any scenario that will like force you in that situation. Lol.
So a fellow was trying to cut down a tree in front of his house. He wasn't using the equipment properly, so he didn't have like the safety key and whatnot on. So I walked past, he dropped the chainsaw. If I was a moment late, I probably wouldn't have a head. Essentially.
Bro, ayah.
There've been other cases, like I was walking too close to the sidewalk one time, and a truck drove by and hit me with its side view mirror.
The side view mirror?
I don't think I was up for another 2 hours, because the sun had gone down by the time I woke back up.
I'm surprised no one noticed a passed out person on the sidewalk.
Yeah, you'd think so. It was outside a church or something, and no one took notice.
Oh wow! Even outside a church, yeah. You would think people be walking by.
But yeah, pulling on that thread of kind of everyone being an entertainer of sorts in this community, what are your thoughts on the indie scene as it is right now?
Ooh, that one's interesting. From lately, from like where I've started, I guess, because like when you think of like VTubers, right? VTubers have been here for, I mean, pretty some time, but I guess it hasn't really caught up traction until I guess like Hollow Live English started. So when that happened, I think a lot of people were like, especially since we're all in quarantine, you know, they all jumped on the whole like, oh, let's go become VTubers, you know? We're like, oh my goodness, we could play a character, which is really nice, by the way. Like a lot of people who wish to be a certain thing, they could finally play that, whatever they want to be.
Yep.
But the thing is, like, there comes a point where it's like, I think our community is growing fast, but it's still technically niche. Because like I think recently, like today, I was talking to someone from my Space Academy days. I asked them, "Do you know what a VTuber is?" And they don't know what that was. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So it's still not like commonly known, but from like a social media perspective, it is a growing community, and it comes to a point where it's like, what is a VTuber? Because people would just slap on the VTuber title, like on their Twitters or whatever social media platforms they're on.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
And call it a day.
Oh, so, boy.
It really depends on, I guess, how they carry themselves. You know? Like, do you wish to play this character? Just role playing a character, not actually producing content. Because I question that a lot, but I feel like
at
it's
that
like
point, you are just a role player instead, which is
yeah,
a bit.
yeah,
I think I mentioned it with Hero once. It was more a case of yeah, there's some overlap, but at the same time, if you're actually serious with the thing, then please make something. Essentially.
yeah. And I feel like I've talked to like again like I've had people do like the pep talks of when I decided to do VTubing in the first place, and like I think when I re-talked to them, or at least I guess like asked them their opinions about the current VTubing space as well. They said that like the oversaturation of how many people are calling themselves a VTuber is kind of disgusting for them, and I'm like, I'm not really sure how to explain that, without getting canceled on Twitter for some stupid shit. But like, it's just I don't know. It's like it's heartwarming to see people say like, oh yeah, I'm a VTuber and I wish to be accepted to by the community. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people are saying like, please notice me, but then it's like there's nothing really to your name yet.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
myself, it's a case of I avoid the title as much as possible usually, simply because it's not appealing. It's like you're a VTuber. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's come to a point like that where it's like, oh, you're a VTuber, huh? Like, oh,
because
you're one of those people.
Because I was on the train home with one of my IRLs, and he's very much a weeb into that kind of stuff, and like he's also a pretty good musician. But yeah, the moment I mentioned VTubing, I was like, oh hey. So have you ever heard anything about VTubing? And he's like, oh, please say less. Like, shit.
Yeah, like I said, it's like I feel like it's because of how fast we're growing and the oversaturation of that growth that like people can literally just slap VTuber to their title. But then like because of that, we get like certain people in this community that is not really like a benefit to put a spotlight on us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like it's if you remove Twitter in general, because I feel like a good chunk of the VTubing community is on Twitter. If you remove
really
Twitter,
does feel like it, yeah.
Yeah, if you remove Twitter, I feel like it's okay. Because just Twitter in general is just a disgusting hell jungle. But we're still on it, and we're still talking on it.
I avoided Twitter for the longest time possible, honestly. I only started using it at like the extreme tail end of last year, and that was mainly to just support my artist friends, because a lot of them were off on Twitter. I was like, alright, sure, I'll follow you guys over there, why not?
Oh god, Twitter. That's a whole different
interaction
beast.
on Twitter is just, man, it feels so superficial at times, is the general feeling I get. It's like, you say something, you're screaming into the void, usually.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. It's maybe because I've been on Twitter before my VTubing stuff. Like, I've been in other communities before, and it's very, like, also, like, not really good communities that a lot of people like putting spotlights on. And so, like, I've seen a lot of stuff like that already. And so, like, seeing the same thing, or even, like, a little bit worse in terms of, like, like, people, in terms of, like, oh, yeah, you have a VTuber tag. But then you're just RPing only.
Oh, boy.
And you're like, okay. Maybe that's why I don't really like certain, I guess, like, interactions on Twitter.
Yeah.
I've been avoiding that a lot lately.
Because, yeah, they're the really empty kind, where it's just like, oh, yeah, we could collaborate, do all of this fantastic stuff, if only you had a platform that you actually stood on, pretty much.
Yeah. I think that was another thing that I was just like, hello? Like, they have the model, they have everything, but, like, where is your, I guess, YouTube or Twitch? They don't even have it linked in the bio. Like, it's very easy to make anything account.
Just a link,
like, right away. Just a link, anything. But, like, sometimes they don't even have that. I'm like, hello? content? Where?
For,
Anything?
for myself, there's one very interesting case that I find when it comes to the indie scene, and that's a barista by the name of Amani Zen. And that guy, let's see, when I first ran into him, I'm like, wait, does this guy actually post any content or anything? And I looked through his socials, his Twitch, whatever, and on Twitch there were no VODs, yet he had a really high number of followers. I was like, wait, hold up, what's going on here? And it just turns out, yeah, his VODs just get deleted very quickly. I'm just like, oh damn. But he does have a very strong user base, which is very interesting.
Yeah. And this is where I would like to give like a pep talk to basically anyone, because like
Go for it.
This is what I hate so much about Twitter and like Twitch, because when like someone posted something on Twitter, right? They're like, "Oh my god, look at my model," you know, and like, look at like a model reveal, etc., etc. And then people follow because they're like, "Oh my god, the model, like it looks so nice." Like, they love the model. They're like, "Oh my god, super beautiful. I want to see more art of your character," etc., etc.
Oh boy.
They end up growing really, really fast. So they end up like 2K or something, 3K before they produce any content. You know,
yeah.
like somewhere around there, or at least 1K before they start doing their debut. And then their debut stream, right? They're like, "Oh my god, like here's my debut, guys," and you know, like 100+ people show up to their debuts, right?
Yep.
And but the thing is, like, after that, you know, they do their regular streaming. They don't see those numbers anymore, and they get very, very discouraged by that. And I'm like, the reason why is because people made time for your debut, but they need to make time for your daily schedule of like streaming, right? And the thing with streaming, it's like to get those like consistent numbers, or at least a growing number of like, you know, average viewers, you need to have like a schedule. You need to have like a consistent streaming schedule, and not like, "Oh, here's my schedule, guys. I'm streaming at 8 a.m. I am streaming at 9 p.m. on this day, and then I'm streaming at like 7 a.m. on this day." You know? No, I mean like same day, same time, every single week. Like not every time, like not everyone can do that every single week, but at least it's at the same day and same time. So like, let's say like, "Oh, I have something on that Saturday, right? And I stream always on Saturday." Always just give people a heads up, basically. But never change your dates. Just never change your days or time, because the thing with like Twitch and Twitter, Twitch is a whole completely different story. Not everyone from Twitter is gonna go to Twitch. Like literally, I would say like a fraction, maybe like 3%, 5% of your like account,
it's a
maybe
very,
even 1%.
very small percentage.
Yeah, and it disheartens me a lot, because a lot of people who go from like Twitter to Twitch, right, in terms of like their growth, and they're expecting to see the same type of growth on their Twitch, they don't see it, and then they're just like, what happened to everyone? Where is everyone who's following me on Twitter? It's like people just follow for the art, you know that, right? Oh my god.
Yeah. It's
and it
making
really
your
sucks.
timeline look prettier, pretty much. That's about it.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with like getting higher numbers on Twitter, right? Because it means you're spreading your stuff farther. Like, but you gotta make sure that you treat both Twitter and Twitch completely separate, because it just discourages you, if that makes sense. Because I don't know how many times I've seen people be like, "Oh, I had, you know, I like the passive aggressive, like, oh, no one watches me either way, etc., etc." And then they have like 3K like followers on like Twitter, right? And I'm like, it's just like, do you consistently stream? Like, do you do anything with your streams? Like, aside from gaming, like, do you do, like, what do you do? Like, what makes you different from other people, if that makes sense, right?
3K is just a number at that point. There is no way in hell you're keeping track of 3K people, honestly.
Yeah. And it's just, there's so many aspects in terms of, like, Twitch growth. Especially if like Twitch is your like main platform, because like YouTube is a whole different story. Like I haven't even like, I have a YouTube account, I still haven't like posted actual videos to that. YouTube is a whole different story with algorithm and all that shit. But like for Twitch growth, it's pretty, I would say like in terms of being like an indie VTuber, Twitch is a pretty nice platform in terms of being like a small indie VTuber and growing from there, because most of your like growth is because you've been networking pretty well. And people raid you, etc., etc. Like you're basically like all your followers are basically seeing the same VTubers
Yeah,
because you guys are in the same friend group basically.
Yep. When you build up a good support network, pretty much.
And I want to say like majority of the people who are like watching a small indie VTubers are always VTubers themselves or aspiring VTubers.
Yep.
It's a very
Good
small
lord.
fraction of like non-VTubers, I guess. So yeah,
I
but like
have one fellow which tunes into my stuff very regularly, which is a fellow that goes by Alex. He's a mod for a friend of mine, but doesn't really stream himself. And man, that guy is way too consistent at times. I'm just like, dude, dude, this time zone, it's not good for you. Go to sleep.
but it's like I always gotta appreciate, you know, the people who always come by consistently, because that means they really do want to give the support that, you know, they wish to give to you,
Yep.
which is really nice. That's why like even though there's a lot of lurkers for like some people's like streams, it's like always gotta appreciate the lurkers, you know,
Pretty much.
because they're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about Twitch lurking is it only counts your viewership for two different channels, pretty much. And then every other channel that you have on, whether it's muted or whatever in the background, it will no longer count your viewership, but you will show up in their members list or people watching list. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah. Because I know that's one thing a couple of friends do, where they just open up everyone else's streams and then just leave it in the back. But yeah, it's a nice way of showing that you're there. Maybe you're not contributing completely to the numbers or anything, but you're there nonetheless.
I do the same thing. I have, well, the only reason why I lurk on so many people's streams is because I just like the channel points. I like forcing people to do stuff.
Oh boy, channel points. Channel points are quite something, I will say.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the big reasons. Because like, I chose Twitch in the first place. Is because, the reason why I even like, again, like I consider VTubing as like a hobby, like a side thing. Yeah, like a big side thing. I put a lot of effort in. Since all of my other activities have been like kind of brought down because of quarantine. But like, since I kind of treat it like a hobby, I don't really care about like certain stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, how do I make this more fun and interactive? And I was thinking like the easiest way for it was to have Twitch, because I think like you can make YouTube just as interactive, but you have to put more effort in trying to set everything up.
A lot of effort, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So that's why I was like, oh,
third
Twitch will do
party.
it for me. Basically. Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, no, Twitch would be easy. Even though it's not really like a viewing, like there's more people on YouTube than Twitch in terms of like viewing wise.
In terms of viewership, you get much higher numbers on YouTube if you manage to be established.
And God, that's why I was like, YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, or Twitch. And I was like, Twitch, because this is not really going to be like a business thing. I have other stuff, and so I'm like, I guess this is the reason why I don't really push for like subathons or anything, because I'm like, I could literally fund my own like hobby. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
at
is
the end of the
fine.
day, people do need to realize, VTubing is more of a hobby than a way of life. There are only so many stars in the sky at times, pretty much.
Yeah. It's not a stable thing. That's why I get like a little bit like, oh, you're thinking of doing this as a full-time thing? Oh, okay. It's like the same thing
for
with
me,
like
it's-
YouTubing.
I mean, it's why when anyone subs, I just kind of freak out. I'm like, no, bad idea, don't do that. There are better ways of using your money.
I feel like in terms of subs, like I guess it really depends on like how the person is. Like sometimes, like for me, like I could sub to a lot of people without any worries. Because like I can afford subbing to multiple people and not worry about it. Because I do want to like, you know, push people into like, okay, like I do like your content. I feel like you can go somewhere with this, and you're very consistent. So I like, you know, I sub to them. I'm like, okay, go continue. I could feel that you're gonna do a very good job in the future. So I end up subbing to them. You know, right?
Oh boy.
So yeah, if I'm sub to you, then that means you know that I'm like, oh my goodness, your content. I believe in you. Continue. I believe. Continue, please. That's why it disheartens me when like I said with the whole like Twitter and Twitch thing, right? when they compare the two things, and then I see the whole like very sad Twitter post where it's like, guys, like I don't know about how I am with the VTubing stuff, and I'm like, you gotta understand, like if you're gonna grow on Twitch, it's gonna be a very uphill battle. It's just if you, as long as you're
very
consistent.
Different experience, yeah.
Yeah, if you're consistent enough and you kind of like separate yourself, or at least like do stuff that is fun for you and still separates you from the crowd of other people, you're gonna grow. So just continue on.
Fair. Like, how does one... Like, why not? Anyway, we're back live.
Nice.
But yes, that certain fella that I mentioned, his Twitter is tiny. It's actually smaller than mine, which I find pretty hilarious at times. But yeah, that fella, his focus is mainly on the Twitch side, and holy hell does it show, because his numbers on Twitch are pretty damn consistent, and they're like, he's past the 1K mark and heading fast to 2K, and it's like, damn, man. And he's just tired of the whole Twitter game, so he just does the bare minimum on Twitter, which is pretty much, oh yeah, if you raided him, he shouts you out, that's about it. But yeah, that guy, I have massive amount of respect for him, just for being able to grow completely on his own almost, and just not bothering to play the game.
Yeah. It can be very tiring, if that makes sense. To could be, I guess, consistently on like like Twitter, always responding to everyone. Like even recently, like I guess like if people have noticed recently, like for the past like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I've kind of been like very silent, or not really silent, but like I don't post as much as I used to on Twitter, and that's because like I don't know, when it comes to me being active on like a social media, it's the same way with like how I treat a lot of my hobbies. Like I have a very one-track mind. If I get tired of it, I'm gonna like completely forget about it for a bit, unless I'm very forced to like do something. So like there would be some days where I'm just like, yeah, let me go and talk to everyone, and then there's some other days where I'm just like, I'm gonna go and read fan fiction for the whole rest of the day. So, but like, yeah, like I said, like you tweet, like Twitter and Twitch, gotta separate the two, or else I'm gonna see like other people going like, oh, I expect to basically have a large viewership following the next days, like, but like no, that's not how Twitch works. You're not gonna have. Yeah, you're not gonna have like 100, like, oh yeah, I have 100 debut stream, and then you see 10 people come to your stream like the next day, and you're like, what happened to everyone? Like, I think, oh god, this is why I love, like, I guess, analytics about Twitch growth or VTuber growth.
Analytics are really nice because they're inbuilt into Twitch. You get to see exactly the source of where everything's come from, including where they had come from, even.
Like, I think, what was it? There's this one online tool that I like looking at just because it's very fun to kind of like watch the growth itself. Oh, and also see the consistent streaming. By the way, it's I think it's called like TwitchTracker.com, like one of the two. I think it's called Twitch Tracker, but it kind of like shows like how your streaming is. And like the thing is like, I hear someone's like, I don't see why people don't come to my streams when I'm stream, and then I check their Twitch tracker and I'm like, wait a minute, like you stream just like the hell of it, like it's all over the place, like hello, no wonder, because people who do want to see you stream, you're not streaming at the same time again. Of course they're not gonna come, like they go out of their way to watch it, but like then you're streaming at a different time than they usually come on, so of course they're not gonna show up again. So there's that, and then like let's say like like again, like one of the problems of being about a variety streamer is that like if people usually come for like whatever the heck you're doing, right? People come for like the game if you're streaming a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so if it's not the game that they like, and they're not really like in tune with you, they're not gonna show up. That's why I try to like when I do like games, I try to do stuff that only like lasts like a week or two. I don't do like stuff that like takes forever, if that makes sense. I've been straying away from that stuff a lot.
Or in my personal opinion, as long as you're not playing an MMO consistently, you should be fine. Because
I guess it's like
the only MMO I've done on stream and is hardly an MMO is Destiny 2, and that was only for a couple of challenge runs every now and then with a couple of friends from whatever guild I was a part of.
I feel like it depends. Like if you're gonna show up as like a variety streamer, don't do like an MMO. If you're gonna do like if you want to cater towards that like MMO community, then cater towards that MMO community. Just know that like if you do switch content after streaming like Destiny for a very, very long time, some of the people are going to be very, very confused, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
If you don't show yourself as like a variety streamer. So I don't know, Twitch is a completely different beast. It's very weird. But at the same time, like once you kind of like understand that like, okay, so growth is not gonna be an exponential climb and it's gonna be a freaking staircase, like just be consistent. If you be consistent, you're gonna see the growth and just don't be sad about your Twitch growth. It's gonna take a lot of time. It's not overnight.
Oh man, if it was overnight, good lord.
Oh god, if it was overnight, you're gonna have to.
I think a lot of people would freak out at the attention.
Yeah.
Rather.
That's why I'm like. That's why like Twitter's kind of like it kind of feels like that, if that makes sense. You post your model art, right? And all of a sudden, like 100 people have followed you overnight, and you're like, "Hello, who are you?" And like in a month, you're like already at 1K, and people probably expect that with Twitch, and like, no, Twitch is completely different.
Because yeah, on Twitter I posted out my art this week, and it gathered about 300 extra followers. I was like, "Hey, who the hell are all you people? Who are you? Who are you? What do you want?"
They want the art. I'm not joking. I think I've seen like a couple like I think was it a couple like Twitter mutuals I've seen, like they posted like, "Oh my god, someone DM'd me saying like post more of your character art because that's the only thing they even followed for," and like that's a big ouch, if that makes sense. Like,
it would be, yeah.
But that's why I'm just like I kind of like slowed down the tweets, if that makes sense, just because of that. So I just post like art, or if I have anything that's really dumb, I just post it. But like I think that's why like, oh god, I want to go back to like interacting with people, because again, like Twitter is great for networking. They're like so great for networking. Like I feel like, because for me, I feel like I guess like as an adult, you know, it's the same thing with like when you're a kid, you're like, oh my god, I can talk to like, if I don't talk to this so and so person for like a day, then like, are we really friends? But like when you're an adult, you're like, I can talk to this person like once a month, or we're freaking besties, yo. And so like the way Twitter has it is just like, do you consider me as a mutual or a possible person you can like collab with, or are you just thinking like, like who are you? Like that's why like I think a couple of people are like, why am I on your homies list, or like your like I think I have two lists that kind of like two different tier lists. Like there's my tier list of like, oh my god, like I like your stuff and I'm gonna watch your stuff like whatever you tweet, and then there's like my actual homies list, like, oh my goodness, it's my friends, I consider my friends or some sort, because we talked like 5 times or we talk like a little bit in voice chat, and now you're in my homies list because like as an adult, that's what I kind of consider. Like I'm just like, oh my god, we've talked before. Okay, you're now my homie. is good stuff, not my sneezes. Because the past couple of streams was like they clipped my sneezes, and I had like 6 to 10 sneeze clips in a row, and I was like, hello, I don't need to see this anymore. I know I sneeze. You don't have to revive me. I sneeze. Oh god. VTuber sneezes. Oh gosh. VTuber burp. Yeah, I might as well have a whole archive for them.
Oh,
that's all I do now.
So, like, a friend of mine, one of her viewers recorded every single time that she'd started swearing on stream. And she swears like a sailor. So
no.
The video was about 2.5 minutes long of just her continuously swearing.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, it's a compilation, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Swearing. Oh god. Yeah. I would cry if I have to see that clipped all over. Well, I mean, I'm already crying with seeing too many VTuber sneezing clips, and then I get tagged like, hello, this person has burped twice. I'm just like,
God. Don't worry. One thing that I'm going to subject everyone I've interviewed before is a whole compilation of where they fucked up on the interview. Somewhere.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love to see that.
Oh boy, because the list is like 7 people long so far, including yourself, and I've got 2 more lined up. So I'll see if I'll see if I don't do that by like the 10th person or 15th person. Anyway.
I gotta see how my report card for this interview. Yeah, it's fine. C's get degrees, is what they say to me.
Yep, pretty much. I went through most of mine with passes. Good lord.
Oh, where was I? Where were we before our stream died again?
Pretty much.
Oh yeah. Twitter is good for networking. Again, like I said before, like I feel like a good chunk of the VTubing community, or like the indie scene, is on Twitter in the first place. Like there's so many interactions there. Like we're stupidly loud. We're stupidly loud on there. So but like, oh, I still remember back like maybe like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, Twitter's gonna freaking die. Who needs Twitter? And then here I am, like a freaking clown tweeting.
I mean, back then we had Tumblr instead.
Yep, and that's where I used to be. Tumblr. And then one migrated was like great migration to Twitter.
Christ.
Oh god, and now everything is just even worse on Twitter because the whole Tumblr community is there too. I
will say Twitter is a hellhole. Everything's a hellhole. It's fine.
Yeah.
This is fine. Kinda. God damn it.
It's nice to see people getting cancelled every week, you know? Yeah. God.
The interesting thing I find is the VTubing community really hates people getting cancelled for whatever reason. Like, it's more a case of they really despise anyone who starts shit, because the person which starts this shit starts getting cancelled immediately, instead of causing like the kind of communal divide. Where it's like, oh, this person was in the right, no, this person was in the wrong, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's just straight, no, fuck this person. Alright, let's terminate them.
I guess it was like... Let's see. In terms of like VTuber drama, or at least VTuber like Twitter drama, I think I've been like doing super well in terms of it. Maybe just because like lately I'm just like, oh, what is Twitter? Oh, I like look at it for like 2 seconds. And I'm like, oh, I am so sorry. And then me being like the stinky person, I'm like, oh my god, let me go and see what's the whole gist right now. Oh my goodness, because someone brings it up during voice chat, and I'm like, oh, did this really happen? And then I have to go and look into it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been on like so many like communities that are stupidly big on Twitter as well before the whole VTubing stuff. So I mean, it's kind of similar, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someone got scammed. Oh. Here are my receipts. Oh,
Here
okay.
Are the receipts. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I hate that term so much. Just
what are your receipts?
Yeah, it's just like, for the love of God, just if like okay. If you've got the evidence, sure, but we live in a digital age where the evidence can be forged so goddamn easily that 90% of the time the receipts are fake. If not, they are clipped in such a way that it is in that person's favor.
And that's what I hate the most. Like, I hate it when people tell a story without telling the whole thing. I really hate that so much. Like, they don't show everything. Because, like, the thing is that, like, I've seen so many, like, things where it's just like, oh, I am a victim. Oh, woe is me. But then it's like, when you actually, like, look at the whole thing, you're like, wait a minute. Like, you're also to blame for this. Like, hello? Like, you're not 0% in the wrong here. You'll have some percentage in the wrong in here in the first place. Like, I've seen that already. And this is coming from me who barely sees VTuber drama, by the way. And when I finally do look at it, I'm just like, wait a minute. The way this is kind of cut is kind of... you're gonna have to tell me the whole story. I'm so sorry.
Boy. Yeah, VTuber drama I generally find as either extremely stupid or just these are people being people, pretty much.
Ooh, give me a second. Did I ever mention that no one in my family knows that I'm streaming? Oh god.
Boy. I generally let my folks know, yeah, I'm streaming. Try not to nuke the internet.
Well,
at the very least, that's what I told them. The internet gets nuked anyway, but hey.
Oh god. Yeah, where the hell was I? Oh lord, before I got interrupted by the squeaky door that I currently have.
Very, very squeaky door. Let's see. It was on the subject of gossip, essentially, or just drama.
Yeah. Just like this is where I like cross the line, and this is the reason why a lot of like YouTubers have been being canceled lately, and it's just like, just why you have some sort of like, you know, like what do they call that one term, like parasocial relationship?
Parasocial, yeah, generally.
Yeah.
Speaking.
Just like okay, yeah, you can get, you know, DMs from like people, right, etc., but don't go past that. Like, I've seen people treating like Twitter like a dating app, if that makes sense. Like, for reals. for reals. Like, yeah, there's people joking, right? But for reals, though. And then I get, like, messages like, oh my god, like, so-and-so did this with this person, and now they're gonna get cancelled. And I'm like, oh my god. If maybe if you actually, like, didn't do that in the first place, you wouldn't be in this mess. But, you know, that's the internet for you. But at the same time, like, it's like not, you know, the internet is open for so many types of people, like all different sorts of maturity and ages, that like you have to keep that in mind when you talk to other people. Like, don't do things that you know is not good at all. Like,
yeah,
in a joking matter too.
Really should avoid.
Yeah, like you can, and this is where like some people have like bad first impressions of other people, because the way certain people joke is not the same way, you know, other people jokes, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you have to be careful what you say a lot, right? Especially if you're an entertainer, if you want to like grow yourself too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're joking, way like some people are kind of like, I could get you in some a little bit of bad blood with other people. Just know that you're limiting yourself with said jokes.
You're building up
Yeah.
that kind of community, I suppose, or catering to
Yeah.
that bunch.
Yeah, and that's where it also comes down to like different types of VTubers, you know? Like you got your say so VTubers, you got your lewd VTubers, etc., etc. And like depending on how you like perceive yourself or show yourself, to your community or whoever the hell is gonna watch you, you're gonna be attracting said type of people.
I mean, the dodgiest case I've seen recently was I scrolled down my timeline and then someone's debut announcement and tits full out, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Scrolls past quickly on the train. I was like, oh boy. Good job.
Oh god, that kind of reminds me.
That really caught my attention, but at the same time I was like, oh god. I'm sitting next to a guy over here. Spare me.
Oh. And like again, like there's nothing wrong with lewd tubers. Like I'm a say so VTuber, but I still, like since I do treat my my VTubing as like a hobby, like I do like kind of like make myself as like a 16 plus type of streamer because I do swear on streams and I have my streams set as mature.
Fair.
But I'm not like super like kind of closed off to like everything, right? So I still talk to people who have like 18 plus on their tags, but like I won't interact with like certain like lewd pictures. Like if you posted like, oh look at my art, it's all big bajungas everywhere, I'm not going to interact with that, unfortunately. I will stare respectfully, but I will not be interacting with it, even liking it in the first place. So it's just like, oh.
Oh boy.
Are we still live? Okay,
yeah,
I saw the thing
we're
buff
fine.
for a little
We're
bit.
fine. We're fine.
Oh my goodness.
Shit.
I was like, shit. We love a scuff streaming. Ayah!
Oh boy. Normally it's better, but not that much better. But anyway, normally we don't have this many unstable events in one shot.
It's because the power of me has been making this unstable. I'm so sorry.
Connection to space is dodgy. Problem
it is
solved.
pretty dodgy. Not gonna lie. The whole time I was like, is the connection on my problem? Like, is it on my side? I wonder. Oh my god. I wouldn't be surprised though. But yeah, what was it? Like catering towards a certain community, right? This is why, like, oh god, like the first 2 weeks of streaming was me because I came off fresh from VR chat, if that makes sense. The certain standard of talking on VR chat is stupidly high. Like you could say so many things on VR chat, and like my current tolerance for whatever comes out of people's mouth is very, very, very high. So like that first 2 weeks of streaming was like, oh, people come in very toxic, and they say stuff or they post like spam stuff. I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. But then my mod who's not from VR chat and not from the Twitter community was like, hey, yeah, that might be a little bit uncomfortable with your chat. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I had to grow. But that's how you grow as a streamer, though. I was like, oh, okay. And I have to set some sort of standard in terms of people talking, especially if I want to continue as like a say-so VTuber,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is like, and that's why I didn't want to do like any lewd stuff, if that makes sense. Because I'm not really like a lewd person to begin with. Like I do like looking at stuff, but like I don't show myself as lewd or flirty to begin with. Yeah. So like kudos to people who can do that, and you can get some sort of fan base, but like you are kind of limiting yourself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of VTubers had to go say so, because they grow a certain way, and they're like, wait a minute, I do want to like spread my growth. So a lot of like big indie people have went more down the say so route because of that.
I think the argument between say so and non say so is a bit too black and white at times, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there is a gray area.
There is a middle ground that you can just strike. It's just like, oh yeah, you're outwardly say so or whatnot, and then whatever you do in DMs stays in DMs. Whatever. Don't air your dirty laundry. That's fine. Honestly.
Yeah. As long as like, I said, as long as you don't say shit in DMs that will get you in trouble in the future, just keep it. Keep it as an understanding to both sides. Like, oh god, like I think the big reasons why like a lot of people yell about the whole say so and unsay so stuff is because like in terms of legality and in terms of like who's watching,
Yeah.
You don't want to get in trouble. which makes sense. And a
Yeah.
lot of like, I think say-so VTubers, they do want to pursue, I guess like a bigger. Either they're just not really into that stuff, or they do actually want to pursue like some sort of like growth or like a community and actually pursue like the VTubing stuff as a consistent thing. So kudos to them as well.
Yeah, I find the fact that just going say so is yeah, like if you're converting over to it and having to give up way too much, then it probably isn't worth it. Then there's the consideration of minors watching your content, where it's just like, yeah, no, that's just troublesome at that point. So, like,
but there's also the argument of like, it's the internet. People are gonna freaking watch it. Like, even if you're a minor, you're still gonna like, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I am 18 plus. You hit the 18 plus. Everyone always does that.
Yeah.
Oh god. But, yeah,
like,
there's the legality on your side. Of course, you're gonna have to like keep the 18 plus tag and everything.
Like the way my streams go in terms of content and such, generally speaking, is a case of how does one say? I'm not gonna quite say I hate minors per se. I'll just say I dislike minors. Strongly dislike. A very, very strongly worded dislike, because it's.
You just want mature viewers, I guess. If that makes sense.
I'd prefer not to deal with the less mature crowd, essentially. This is a case of my streams are usually on the more low energy side to begin with, and not so much on the ridiculous hype side or whatever MLG blah blah blah. Catering to that kind of crowd, no thanks. I'm good, essentially, where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like a lot of, I've seen that like 80 plus people, they could be just as like, just as low key, I'd say so, but they're still gonna put the 80 plus just because they don't want to interact with minors, which makes sense because like some people are actually very uncomfortable with that too, with interacting with minors. Yeah, like even me, like let's say like if I ever get like a random DM from like some 13-year-old on Twitter, I'd be like, I'll be very uncomfortable by that. Yeah. I'll be cutting off like the like the talking itself, but like I'm gonna have some sort of like really heavy filter, if that makes sense. Like I think most of my DMs with a lot of people have been very heavily filtered, unless it's like someone that I like know in the community.
Fair enough. Like personally in DMs, I'm usually very reserved unless it's a case of, oh yeah, there's a proper report going on. Yeah, just talk about whatever. And there's only a couple of people out there where I do that with. Everyone else is a case of keep a bit of distance, keep the professionalism up, just stick with it, essentially. You are still having to give out your own brand identity at the end of the day.
And I think that's why I'm a little bit like oh boy, Twitter, because a lot of, I guess there's not really professionalism on Twitter in the first place.
It is a cesspool. Good lord. I wish some people knew that they're an entertainer at this point, or they're representing themselves in some way or another. But yeah.
It could be a freaking mess, but like I said, it's like, well, they do what they want to do, and they're catering towards whatever they're gonna be showing themselves off as. So it's really up to them, and whatever hole that they're gonna be digging themselves into, it's on their part. You dig your own hole, basically. Yeah, and it's like if you're in like a certain type of situation in the future where you're like, oh, wait, I might be in trouble. It's because of whatever you've done that may or may not be professional to begin with in the first place. So,
oh boy. In that regard,
like everyone always laughs about the scuffness, but it's like,
in that regard, let's talk about something a bit too recent, probably to talk about, but nonetheless, probably should be worded. What are your thoughts on graduations and just people dropping from the scene? Because there have been a lot of people recently that are dropping like flies, and it's just like, shit, man, these are sad boy hours at this point.
Yeah, I think recently someone, I I guess like I went on Twitter and I was like, oh, someone graduated, like someone I don't really know, right? But they had like a decent following and etc. And I was like, oh, okay. See, the thing with graduation, like, it's again, it's like the way you've treated like VTubing when you first started VTubing. Like, not everyone's gonna be able to stick around, because like even me, like I might question myself like later on if I didn't really like grow the way I have recently, I might have been like, oh yeah, you know, I'm done with my hobby, goodbye. I want to do something else. But it's again, it's like the what I've been saying with the, you know, the community is growing really quickly and the oversaturation and all that, and some people like start thinking that they're gonna make it big right away with a lot of high hopes. They don't really treat it as like a oh, you know, I stream for fun, you know, or I make content for fun, and they expect some sort of like fame, you know, when they do the stuff. But then there's other people who have, you know, they've done it for quite some time, and like they have other things they have to go to. And hell, maybe some of them might come back as Hololive people. Who knows? Like, especially if they've been doing super well in the VTubing community. So like,
people getting poached. Yeah, that can
basically,
happen.
yeah, and like, yeah, unfortunately, like not everything is forever, if that makes sense. So might as well enjoy along the way. But yeah, you can't really keep it up for too long or forever, if that makes sense. Because you know, sometimes, you know, like life catches up to you, and you have to do actual life stuff. Yeah, because yeah, like I said before, if I wasn't in quarantine, I really wouldn't be doing VTubing in the first place. Yeah.
Let's say personally, I think I might have ended up streaming regardless. It's just my own situation was on the side of, oh boy, if I try to stream, this will probably be the most scuffed thing possible, simply because, let's just say I lived less than 20 meters away from the tree line, and the net connection is not healthy.
Well, after our third drop of the stream.
And it really had not been healthy for most of my life, pretty much, until the start of this year, where I was like, alright, it's good enough to stream, may as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you stream because you want to stream, you know? Do it as, like, something fun, because, like, I feel like the moment you kind of, like, switch it into, like a business type of thing, then you're treating it more like a job instead of something fun to do, you know, or something you do on your off time.
Streaming as a potential job, because
yeah,
let's see, I've done busking before, and it's close to the same principle of the fact that you're there, your stream is there, you want people to listen to you, but can you keep going if no one else is listening to you? And the difference between someone who's very good at busking and someone who's terrible is whether you are that kind of person which can just keep going regardless of the attention you're given. And I'd find that the same here as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it comes to, like, the same way with how, like, I think before I did the streaming stuff, I did watch a couple of videos on, like, oh yeah, like, how do you actually, like, stream? Or how do you just stream in general, basically? And I think one of, like, the pro tips was, like, even if you have, like, 0 people watching you, just still stream, like, as if you're streaming to, like, a bunch of people. Or at least, like, someone, right? Like, treat whoever the hell is here, still talk. Because I think I've been into a lot of, like, random VTuber streams with, like, you know, like, maybe 3 or 2 viewers. But, like, they don't really say anything, if that makes sense. They just play the game. They don't really say anything.
I mean,
it's
hey,
just like a
right
playthrough.
now we're sitting on, like, 4 people, even. But
yeah, which is fine, because, you know, 4 people listening or having it in the background, it's completely fine. And hell, sometimes people might just watch the VOD, like, later on. Sometimes people can't really do it at this time, so...
Yeah, it's
really
kind of odd
matter.
for my stuff, because usually people do tune in on the VOD, and I'm just like, oh, maybe I should upload these somewhere. And they've been exported to YouTube for the most part. I just haven't really released them publicly on YouTube. They're still just listed as unlisted. So,
oh yeah, I mean, they'll be...
Yeah,
that'd be cool too.
Some people wake up at that moment, oh god, Alex, what the hell? Yeah. This guy is the weirdly consistent fella.
We love our consistent viewers. I do be vibing in the streams. Yeah, a lot of the specifically a lot of like the chatting streams. A lot of people could just have it in the background, and just
It
listen
is
to.
more or less treated as like a radio show at this point.
Mm-hmm. I actually do a lot of like podcasts like of streaming. I guess. Yeah, it's very vibe or chill.
Yes, it's called a regular. Hey, Alex, you are one of my regulars.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. But yeah, in terms of graduation though, I feel like again, like I told you before, I'm not really like super into or further in the VTubing hole in terms of when I first started, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I've watched V Shoujo for like months and months, right? And then me being like, oh yeah, I watched like Niji Sanji like back in like what, September, October, and then I was like, yeah, let's be a fucking VTuber, and here I am. But then I am also slowly like looking at other stuff, which is why I feel bad whenever someone's like, oh yeah, like, you know, the person that I really look up to is like Iron Mouse or something, you know, and I'm just like, I look at like English title clips of like Jap VTubers, like that's the most I've done in terms of like watching VTubers in general.
Okay, so here's one thing I can somewhat say. So I help run an agency, which is soon to debut one of their first talents, and the audition for that included an interview process as well, and part of it was hearing where people had drawn their inspiration for wanting to become a VTuber from. And we had people which went from either, they had followed Hololive since they started, they had seen Kids No Eye, and even people as soon as at the time when Holo ID had just released their new talents. That recent, and it was like, oh, okay. We had all walks of people just signing up, so honestly, the amount of time you're exposed to the scene I don't think particularly matters. It's more so how invested you end up in the scene, I'd say.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. It's like, do you wish to, well, yeah, I've met other VTubers that are kind of like similar in my boat in terms of like they've only been exposed to like the current VTubing community through like either a little bit of clips or by like a friend's clips. Hell, they might have been dragged into the VTubing community because of a friend who wanted to be a VTuber in the first place, and then they ended up becoming a VTuber themselves.
God damn it.
Did I expose you?
Yeah, that fella for me was blue, but nonetheless.
Oh my god. Oh, you're that close to blue. Oh my goodness.
He lives like an hour or two north of me. That's about it.
Oh my god. Well,
I've known the guy for like 5 or 6 years at this point.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think what was it? I didn't really have anyone to drag me into that. I feel like I've been the one who was like, oh my god, I'm a brief VTuber guest. Let me show this off to people, and then I became VTuber myself. Because like I did want to do streaming in general, but then I was like, I'm not really a big fan of like exposing myself to like Twitch.
Yeah.
I guess.
Fair enough.
If that makes sense, because like it's just, you know, expose yourself, like especially as a female streamer, like expose yourself to like the internet. You're gonna have some people, you know, you're gonna have some people kind of like watching you. You don't want that people.
There'll be more people in your DMs than you currently have, most likely.
Which is why I'm safer to even begin with, because I don't want pictures. You know, I really don't want pictures.
Oh yeah, dodgy story, dodgy side tangent. So a friend of mine, she opened a VTubing account on Facebook as well. And no more than a couple of hours later was instantly sent a dick pic. It did not take very long for that to happen. So she sent one back and blocked the person. But anyway, yes, exposing yourself on the net, not the greatest thing.
Yeah, and this, like I said, no shame to lewd VTubers to begin with, or like unsay-so VTubers. Like, you shouldn't be even getting that stuff in the first place, but this is the internet. You're gonna be getting stuff like that, specifically if you're gonna be catering towards that type of stuff. Like, just be ready for that. Just know how to handle that. Like, I really don't want that stuff to happen to you, but it's still gonna happen. It really is. it's very unavoidable, especially if you're doing that. But yeah, that's why I kind of like VTubing in the first place, because like you basically have something to protect your like actual IRL stuff.
Mhm.
Like, I really don't want to show myself as an IRL, because and not because of like, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, you probably look bad IRL, but like, you've seen how many hot people are on Twitter. You've seen it, right? I was like, hello. But it's like, it's just like, if any of my coworkers were to find out I do VTubing, or if any other like specific IRLs were to find out I did VTubing in general, I'm probably gonna delete everything. I'm not joking. So it's just like, yeah, like it's just certain
Yeah.
people I can't be doing or showing myself out there, man.
Yeah, there are some IRLs where I just feel like, nope, 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 God, nope, hell, nope, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Pretty much. Just not worth it. Then others where they're just like, they make fun of me for it, but they support it in the end, ultimately, which I find great. Because they're the kind of guys which will shit posts like there's no tomorrow online. But the moment you meet them in person, they are a ridiculously chill bunch. But yeah, that bunch, they've tuned in on my streams a couple of times. I'm just glad they haven't summoned a Hydra here yet. But anyway.
Oh god. Oh god. Knock on wood for that.
That'll probably happen one day when they're bored enough and see me streaming. They'll just come in, summon the Hydra. Couple of minutes later, a giant dick Hydra just pops up and I'm like, yes, this was bound to happen eventually.
Oh my god, this is not what I wanted to do. I was even trying to hit the mute button. Well, you got one Rilu burp on your stream. Well, it's never a stream without me either sneezing or burping, at least one of the two. We love our caffeine burps.
I'm glad that I just have a noise gate on my mic, so that if I need to do anything, I just turn my head sideways and it immediately filters off really hard.
Dang. You know the worst part? I can't even have a noise gate, because sometimes my noises turns out to be like filtered out just talking into the mic, man.
Oh boy. Okay. Like, what kind of microphone are you running then, in which case?
I have the Elgato Wave 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'm just running this ridiculously durable mic, and that's about it.
It sounds pretty good though.
That's an SM58, so classic vocal mic. It'll do the job. Like, at the place at the place I'm studying, the tutor was like, oh yeah, SM58, reliable, does the job. I wouldn't use it, but yeah, every studio has one. Then he proceeded to throw it over his shoulder. Yeah, this thing is surprisingly heavy though, is the thing. Like, you pick up a regular karaoke mic at a random karaoke place, you think, oh yeah, this is well balanced, kind of light, whatever. This thing feels like it's built to last. Which is interesting considering that every single one at that particular institute has a massive bloody dent in it, yet is still functional.
You love it, durability. Nokia phone type of durability.
No kidding. You can run it over with a truck, pick it up and still use it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, these things are amazing. They've never changed the design for about 60 years.
Wow, it's 60. Jeez, okay, well, I mean, if it works, it works, you know?
Yeah, it works pretty damn well. But yeah, most streamers eventually upgrade to like the, this thing's successor, essentially. Which, if you ever see some of the bigger name streamers, how they have a kind of fat kind of mic with a windsock put on top of it, like just towards the side of the face, that's the SM7. That thing, very clear sound, very good for streaming, but very low kind of gain, so you do need to pump it up quite a lot. But generally speaking, very clear signal, which is what makes it very good for voice and just streaming in that sense. Say, for instance, if you ever tune in on Domo's stream, yeah, fella has one of those right next to his face.
Oh my god. Happy belated birthday, Domo. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that man had a birthday. yesterday, or was it the day before? Something like that.
Yep,
Yeah,
basically.
that's it. I'll throw the first curveball of the night, I suppose, because we have just been going on like the regular set of questions. I haven't even thrown anything weird in yet, actually. Because yes, you are very good at talking. I will say that much.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, that's the reason why I even went to like streaming to begin with, because like I'm good with talking in voice chat, but like the moment I have more than like 3 or 4 people that are talking at the same time, I just become a listener. If that makes sense. Like I like listening more, and then putting my feedback like whenever everyone's quiet. But like during a stream, it's like, oh yeah, no one's talking. Like, oh my god, I could just read and I could just read whatever or go off on a tangent whenever someone talks about stuff, because I do like talking about stuff. I just never get to. If that makes sense, because I don't like talking over people. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, how's this one then? In which case, so how do you feel about bigger names noticing the smaller people and the amount of attention that kind of draws?
I guess it's like there's always pros and cons to everything. Pros being like it's really nice of them to like put a spotlight on like certain indie VTubers. Like I think I have a couple of friends who have gotten a spotlight from Iron Mouse. I think she's been doing a lot of like
Oh, wow.
like smaller indie VTuber showcases.
She makes quite a few threads for that, actually.
Yeah, and it's very like kudos to them, because I think V Shoujo and a couple of other people that are technically in the indie VTubing community, I would still consider.
Oh, okay.
Like they're the only ones with the power to like put a spotlight on like smaller VTubers, because like the other big companies like Hololive and Nidishanji, they're not gonna do that because they're a company,
They have to like keep their own company and image up, pretty much.
Yeah, and for these types of people to do that, that's really really nice of them, because they understand that our community is still growing, and to have like a spotlight is very very thankful of them, But then there's also like okay, you have the spotlight now. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, some people have. I guess like some people have like succumbed under that pressure, like, well, I'm still growing, like what am I supposed to do? Like, people only like me for my model, etc. And like I haven't even, did so and so and this, and people are following me for some reason. But like it's like the pros and cons to it, right? Like, okay, now you have the spotlight, do something with it, like showcase yourself, come on, like anything, just do anything. Like take the reins. The reins of the luck. That's big luck. I want to call it. Like you're getting the luck of someone shining, someone bigger than you shining the spotlight on you. You might as well take it,
Oh man, yeah. Because there have been times, how does one put it? So back in my theater days, I stole the spotlight a couple of times just to help fix up shows, essentially. So it'd be a case of person doing main character fumbles lines, me watching them struggle on stage for like 10-15 seconds, then just immediately going, alright, fuck it, let's go, improvisation. So I put my hand up, do a very loud snap or click, and that's the cue for the profile operator to shine the spotlight over and start tracking me instead. Go in, fix things up, drag it back on track, and then put my hand down and sweep away, and that is just the sign that you should do a crossover, switch spotlights, and get the guy that's currently walking instead, or the guy who should be speaking instead. And there have been too many cases where I've had to upstage people just to pull that off and get things back online, but yeah. It is that same kind of feeling where you do need to be able to react under pressure, I suppose. Because if there's one thing on Twitch of which is pretty much that on a daily basis, is when you raid somebody.
Big, yes. Oh my god, this certain etiquette when people get raided. Oh my god. There's like a couple of times where I've raided people and I was like, oh, you couldn't have done better, if that makes sense, This is why I try to at least raid everyone I know, or at least try to keep my consistently, or raid different people as best as I can. But oh god, I think this is when I was doing the early days of streaming. I raided someone, and me being a say-so VTuber, I try to raid someone, but I didn't really keep in mind of the whole say-so stuff. So, I rate them. I was like, oh my god, this person's online. Let me go rate them. And then sends the rate, my crew over. They're already like saying very unsafe stuff. They're in a collab, by the way, and so they're not even paying attention to the chat.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god, I got raided, and then they don't talk to chat, and I go, oh well, there we go. There we go.
For me, for some reason, there's one specific kind of stream which is just a raid magnet, and that is every time I do D&D. Without,
oh my god.
Without fail, someone manages to raid the D&D so far. And it started with like the second session where Hiro went ahead and raided, and I was like, oh god, why have you brung so many people with you? Because it's a case of, this is a chaotic evil campaign. The things these players are doing are generally criminal acts.
Oh boy.
There is a lot of cannibalism involved. There's a lot of murder involved.
Oh.
The players are straight up part of a terrorist organization. And it's like, Hero, you brought these people here. Why? that was the night I got affiliate, but god, why? And then every stream since, yeah, someone has raided, and it's been at the worst moments possible. Where it's like, oh, the party's about to cannibalize someone, or the party's about to do this or that, and I'm just like, welcome raiders, shit, let's give a synopsis.
Well, I mean, at least it's an interesting part. And you also at least notice the raiders, because that's one thing I really don't like, is that if someone like raids someone and you don't, some have some, like, okay, if you're in a collab, that's fine, I guess. Or specifically like let's say like an interview or a game show or something like that. Like I understand that, but if it's like a collab, you can like mute yourself, or at least deafen on like the Discord side.
Yeah.
Right, just to talk, because it's like you got a spotlight. Like, do something with it. Like, if you can't showcase yourself for like the first, it's like that. What do they call it? Like elevator pitch? Like 1 minute elevator.
Yeah. There are some people which are really damn good at it. Some people which are god awful at it.
Yeah, if you can't do that in like that 1 minute, like you're not gonna retain whoever's showing up. Like that. Like I said, like a lot of indie VTubers, we grow through raids because everyone's being passed along technically. So. Yeah, elevator pitch. Come on, guys.
Yep. Pull off that nice little slick introduction, I suppose.
True neutral players only.
I specifically list my guys as chaotic evil most of the time, if not anywhere in the evil spectrum. I can't consider anyone in the neutral section anymore. Not with what they've pulled off.
Oh boy.
Uh,
God, D&D. I want to play D&D, but no one. I don't know. With my current schedule, I don't think I can even do D&D, even though I want to do D&D.
I managed to squeeze it in somehow for my bunch, and they make the time as well. So yeah, it's nice. Let's see. What else did I have left on this list of questions, or regular questions? Right. So this is more so going back to your own audience. What kind of people do you find yourself appealing to? So what's your target audience? What has ended up coming to your streams in comparison?
I think, so you remember when I said like it was kind of rough for me for like the first 2 to 3 weeks? It's because I wasn't sure who I should let in the stream. So a lot of a little mischievous people showed up, because of my high tolerance for stuff. But lately it's been filtered out a lot. So everyone's been on their best behavior as they can be. It's been like how do I explain this? Because most of my streams have been very like, I guess either not really chill, because I'm not very much of a chill person, but like is there like a mixture of like hyper and chill at the same time? Because that's what I feel like is my stream. Hyper and chill, and I get very like, people that are very like super nice. Like I have like one of my favorite like occurring viewers is the Eternal Shadow. Like I love Shadow. Oh my gosh, they're very role model space cadet or space private, since they did get recruited or promoted, but one of my role models, Space Privates, because I try to keep things in order as best as I can, because we're a space brigade, we gotta keep everything in order before I put down my iron fist. Sometimes, let's see, most of the people who come, they're very, like, I don't tolerate like super edgy stuff. Super edgy stuff. We do have some people with a little bit of edgy humor in there, but I show them that I draw the line at certain parts, so they understand that. But in terms of like viewer base, I guess it's like anyone who's very interested in a game that I've been playing, and a lot of usually like most of the time, like if I play like a building game or like some sort of like survival game, like Subnautica, I always end up have a little bit of the younger side showing up, which is fine by me. But like again, it depends if they decide to stick around, which is why I keep like things as say so as possible. Which is why if I see anyone very unsay so in chat, I'm gonna have to like cover it up. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
So a lot of the viewership has been very just like like the regular Twitch people that are like, oh, I'm here to like watch, and sometimes bully the streamer. Yeah, and they
Fair
do
enough,
stick
fair
around,
enough.
which is nice. The crew is really great. They stick around. Their captain defeat whatever the heck is thrown at my way. So it's been I guess the in terms of like targeted audience, basically anyone who just wants to see a Twitch stream and like not catered towards like anything in particular, and they just stick around for me. Basically, they wish to be part of some sort of community in terms of like just something to hang out with, like
Alright.
like a unified unified type of person. Because now it kind of warms my heart whenever I show up to like other VTuber VTuber spaces, and like I see my crew in there, and the moment I pop in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's the captain," and then they do my salutes that I usually do.
Oh, wow.
I've brainwashed into their heads.
Oh god, what's the salute?
It's like an O and then a 7. That's like the
Oh,
usual
no.
standard salute.
That's one
Yep,
of
and
one of my trademarks as well. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I throw 07s pretty damn often as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever someone follows, I'm like, okay, crew, be sure to salute to our new space cadet, and then people do our 07, and then if someone
That's
has
quite
to
nice,
leave,
yeah.
yeah, I brainwash them to do that. So sometimes I don't even have to say it, and they'll do it for me, and I'm just like, beautiful, top role model cadets here. I love you guys. Yeah.
Oh man, actually brainwashed in.
Yep, that's why I love it when I show up and then they immediately do 07. And I'm like, good to see that the crew is still on their toes before I find them. Yeah. We throw
Oh,
07s all the time.
Can confirm you have been brainwashed. Oh god.
Oh, Percival. Yeah. Yeah, which is funny because whenever like the new people, like the new recruits show up, they're like, wait, what's 07? And I'm like, it's a salute.
Yeah,
Welcome to the
'cause
crew.
a lot of the time it's a 50-50 when I'm talking with people, whether they know what an 07 is or not. And it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, think of it as a guy saluting. And they're like, they see it, then they're like,
Basically.
oh, okay. I'm like, damn it,
Yeah.
I don't like explaining that.
I know, right? Oh god. And like, see, the thing is that like we also have my only emote that I currently have. I only have one emote.
Yeah,
After my 4,
that's
almost close to 4 months of streaming.
That's an infinite amount more than I have.
Yeah, I only have one emote, and it's kind of been also kind of like a salute, but for the people who have access to the emote. Yep, there you go. Thank you, Percival.
wow.
Yeah, and I've been thinking like, so for example, the reason why I haven't I have like my model art for like my new captain model, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't have it rigged yet is because I need to find like a specific person that can actually do the saluting that I wish, and I want it
the
to be similar to how
hand
my
motions.
emote
Okay.
is. Yeah. So I kind of wanted like you know how like every scene, like Star Trek, the way they like say hello to people is very different, and then you also have like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want like the way my Rilu temp. Oh boy, that's what the emote is called. Rilu temp emote. That's a whole different story. But I kind of want the model to do the same, like of some sort of like position as well. Yeah. Fist up.
I do know a guy.
Yeah.
I'll send you that later, because that guy's a legend. Good lord.
Yeah, I actually am thinking of doing something really big, and if that doesn't work out, I would like my alternatives to be open. So yeah, if you could send that information my way, that would be very great.
Because this man, I trust a bit too much probably, but at the same time, we spent some time just talking it out at a random camp, then getting drunk as hell afterwards. Then he ended up becoming part of this community to an extent, in the fact that he just rigs a lot of shit. But yeah.
It'll be interesting if I know this person.
He pumps out a lot of rigs. Let's see, if you ever heard of a man named Kaiman Pool. That guy, bloody legend.
No. Yeah, you're gonna have to send me that information.
Because yeah, this guy, he's rigged a bunch of friends. He's rigged a heck of a lot of stuff, and his quality and capabilities are very high, is what I'll say. Because he does definitely know how to do the hand motions.
Okay, I see it. Wait, is the person in their header, is that their character?
Not necessarily. That's a fan art I think he drew. But yeah.
Okay.
He does both art and rigging.
Okay.
Because yeah, that absolute madman is what I will say.
I think I've seen a little bit of stuff on my timeline before. Well, yeah, but I'll definitely check them out, because like I said, what I'm doing in like the next couple of months might be a little bit big, and if I always need my plan B's and C's, if that makes sense.
Fair enough. It's always good to have those alternatives to turn to, after all. It's like I've seen a lot of people who've had like certain things just fall through really fast, and it's like, oh, did you not have a failsafe or a safety chain somewhere down the line? And it's like, oh no.
Oh god, yeah, and that's why I had like a little mental breakdown for the past couple of weeks too. Because, like I said, my preparation, if it's not going well, then I'm just like, what am I doing? Oh.
Because for myself, if my internet is specifically like ridiculously bad, irrecoverable, essentially, then I just have my mobile data that I can resort to. But yeah. In terms of, like, just specifically in terms for streaming, and then if certain other things fall through, then yeah, other ways of just solving stuff.
Always gotta have your backup plan. Yeah.
Yep.
I heard some people just stream without any plan at all. I'm just like, how do you do that? Oh my god.
Yeah, I know a couple of people like that. That reminds me I need to strangle one of them, but anyway.
I'll break their kneecaps for you.
Sure. Just go to this address at this particular time of night, and yep, we're good.
All right, I'll drive in the spaceship towards that area.
By the way, why kneecaps? to explain, why the kneecaps?
It's just the right height, you know? Why you gotta go any higher? Just the kneecaps, you know?
Just the right...
Just the right height.
Oh my god.
Wait, streamers have plans? Oh my lord. As long as... If you don't want to be a scuff streamer, have a plan, please. Have some sort of plan. Yeah. God. But yeah, it's the kneecaps. One of the funniest things that I've heard on my timeline so far, and this is coming from one of the communities that I'm in personally, because I actually like being in this community. The VTuber said, "I do not sell kneecap insurance."
Oh my god.
I want that. Like, if I ever die, I want that knee. I don't sell kneecap insurance on my gravestone, please.
God
it still sticks with me.
Yeah, I have a very light background in martial arts in the sense that I used to do it a bit, but then my brother stuck with it a ridiculous amount and doesn't shut up about the damn stuff at times. Kneecaps are usually the worst target that you can aim for on someone's foot, or on someone's feet, essentially. Legs. English. Anyway, because the kneecap is ridiculously hard and very solid. So if you hit it, you normally get a lot of feedback, and it's like, oh shit, I hit something bad. Generally speaking, you want to go for the shins. You want to go a bit lower.
Oh yeah, the shins also hurt. Oh my god, if you've played ever like, I guess football in your terminology, or soccer in my terminology.
We call it soccer.
Oh, you guys call it soccer, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like if you played soccer enough, oh my god, getting a foot to the shin, even with the shin guards on, still freaking hurt.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I can remember that pain. Good lord. But yeah, the main thing is, if you ever want to wear someone down without them realizing, if you want to kick them in the legs. Why? Because they won't realize how much of a toll leg kicks eventually take on someone.
Oh yeah.
After about 2 or 3 of them, they'll start stumbling and not realize why. But yeah, that's just a bit of self-defense. Anyhow. So, speaking of self-defense, do you put any particular safeguards up for yourself?
Wait, safeguards as in?
Either A, for like private information, or just keeping the unsavory kinds out, I suppose.
Well, okay, so in terms of like, I guess like getting my information out, like in terms of like, accidentally doxing myself, I've been doing my best in terms of like, I did get like a PayPal business account, so I'm gonna have a fun time trying to figure out how to file for taxes for that shit, because a lot of the Twitch stuff, like I was not expecting getting money from Twitch, but I got money from Twitch, so yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to file taxes for next year. Yeah, but that's going towards the business account, which is great because now I can finally actually use the business account, because I've been using my personal PayPal account for like commissioning stuff, so there is some people that have known some stuff that I wish I didn't really show. But let's see, in terms of doxing, or just safeguards in general, for like the Discord, which is I call the spaceship the Star Bean Enterprise. I've set like some rules, like you gotta have your foot down, especially if you're making a community that does have some sort of minors in it. Especially since I'm technically catering towards 16 and up. Since I only just swear, I don't really have like anything like lewd. That makes sense. Yeah. So people can come in like, oh yeah, I'm 16, etc., etc. But I do have my safeguards, as in like people can't just jump into my Discord without showing up to stream, because that's the only time you can ever have the Discord like is in the stream. So yeah, that's one of my safeguards. 2 being that like I do have strict rules on my Discord, so if I see anything that's gonna either get me in trouble legally, I am banning them on the spot or giving them a warning, you know. Especially if it gets the point through. So yeah, you know, the crew understands now recently, though I might have to put my foot down a little bit harder, because it comes down to like, where am I gonna draw the line at certain stuff. So I'm just like, okay. But I guess for like streams in general, I do have 3 mods, but like 2 of the mods have been like on and off because they can't really go to every single stream. So I have also been self-modding technically. But I guess like if I see anything weird, just in general, that makes like anyone uncomfortable, like in chat, which I believe might be uncomfortable, I just either like delete it myself, or if it's really really bad, I ban them. But like the thing is that I need to do better with that, because I still think that I have a higher tolerance than most people when it comes to like people showing up in chat, which is a big problem of me. But that's why I have at least my 3rd mod, who is a VTuber themselves. I'm glad that they're kind of like staring at chat. If anything stupid comes up, they do it. They do it. Than me being like, I don't know what's going on. What am I supposed to do? So yeah, I'm glad that's happening. But yeah, definitely the Yeah, the Twitch automat. Yeah, Twitch automat is very interesting. I don't know what to deal with Twitch automat,
Well,
but Twitch
automod
automat does something.
is... I don't
Yeah.
actually have automod set up, I think. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. No, it's set up by default. I just don't have it at a very strong setting.
Yeah, I think I have mine at like level 1.
Yeah, I
But
just
it
have mine
still
at level
censors
1.
weird stuff.
Yeah. It does some weird stuff sometimes, yeah.
I'm
But
just like, hello. I have it at level 1, but you're still censoring like certain stuff. I had to allow word waifu for... Yeah, I don't understand certain stuff being censored, but yeah. That's Twitch for... I always tell this to everyone. Anyone who complains about like being, I guess, auto-modded or like censored in my chat, I'm like, it's either Twitch or it's something that I have in the list of stuff that most people do not allow on their like streams in general. So like, well, just reword your sentence.
So myself coming from an Aussie background, there's one specific word which is not censored, but is usually censored everywhere else, and that's just people that drop the C-bomb, because I just really don't care. That is part of regular vocab down here. You will hear it every other minute, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because while I know it's bloody offensive in a lot of cases, it's a case of I can't really avoid it, and when it comes to if I'm with someone else or from a different country or whatever, it's like, yes, I probably shouldn't drop this here. But if it's local Aussie, then yeah.
You're gonna hear it, yeah. Oh god.
Because yeah,
Yes.
another friend I stream with, often do a lot of collabs with, yep, they drop it like there's no tomorrow. Swears like a sailor.
Well,
she tried doing a say so stream that last an hour or so. She failed by the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, this is why I'm like I feel like in terms of like say so, like I feel like I'm in the gray area because I still technically curse, like I curse, but like not as like crazily, I guess, and then none of the other stuff, like any lewd jokes or any of that. So I do consider myself safe so, but like it's still technically the gray area because I do curse, like I said. Oh.
Alright, let's fly into a different grey area for a moment then. We are in the middle of a bar. Background at least. Recommend a drink.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so alcohol is one of those things where it's kind of in the grey. More in the grey than it probably should be, but yeah.
That is true. Yeah, I have talked about alcohol on streams before. And people are like, oh my god, you could drink? And I'm like, yeah, I can. Because I'm 7,000 years old, alien. Of course I can drink. I have a spaceship license for a reason, you know?
Oh boy. Lovely.
But I don't have a mech of license, unfortunately, and someone gave me a mech just recently, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? But it's fine. We're gonna learn it on the way. But in terms of drinking, let's see. Well, recently a lot of my go-tos, especially since I've been talking about this right before we did any of the stuff. I always end up drinking like soju a lot of soju. That's like my go-to since it's very, I guess, easily accessible for me, and it there's not really much of a thought when I buy it. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's like vodka, like strong, like, well, not as strong as vodka, but like at that point close to vodka, but like it's sweeter and it's easier to consume, and then especially if you have the flavor one, it's even 10 times easier to consume. So I always end up drinking like apple soju all the time, and then if you really want to get funky with it, always like mix it with I don't know if most of you guys freaking weeb. You guys know Caplico or Calpis, which is like the Japanese like drinking like carbonated, either carbonated or non-carbonated drinks. But yeah, I always like mixing Calpis with a little bit of soju. A lot of people do that with their like vodka and raspberry, to mask the whole taste. Oh my goodness! But yeah, that's a lot of my go-tos.
But vodka is straight petrol for the most part.
Basically. Oh god, I don't know how people could just drink that thing straight up.
Oh, I used to
Oh
be a
god.
fellow which could actually drink straight vodka.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Literally
speaking of
go to the bar, order vodka on the rocks. Here we go.
oh
Oh,
my
what
god.
in the hell? Why? Someone just subscribed.
Yep, speaking of drinking, one of my crew bartenders just showed up. Hey, Drackle.
Bartender? Hold up.
Yeah,
Christ.
2% pure alcohol. You're basically just drinking rubbing alcohol, but like, yeah.
Some dangerous stuff. Oh my god.
What you mean by that? How is this dangerous? Hello? I'm talking about my soju. Are you talking about trying out soju with Calpis?
Oh boy.
You're
Okay.
supposed to drink alcohol. Oh my lord. Yeah, he's my local what is it, bartender on the ship right now. I might be getting a second bartender on the ship.
Oh,
Who
boy.
knows?
Christ alive. Thanks for the
Yeah.
sub. There are better ways of spending your money, but you've spent it here.
My goodness. But yeah, let's see. What other stuff do I drink? I mean, I've drank other, I guess, like hard stuff before. When back in my Space Academy days.
Oh,
One
boy.
of the things I used to drink a lot was actually Kahlua. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had like a. I think there was one that had like a. Was it a chocolate flavor or a coffee flavor? One of the two. But then I got sick of it, and I was like, never mind. And just the smell of it makes me sick. Oh God. So yeah, there's that one. What other stuff?
Oh, Kahlua was... What was it? Coffee liqueur. Pretty much just rum and coffee.
Yeah, basically that. Because I guess this is so funny. This is kind of like going to what someone told me today, while I was out and about. Someone's like, well, they understood that they were gonna. Someone was gonna mix coffee with alcohol, so they might as well put it together.
Oh, God.
What do you mean you're yelling at me after the stream? What the fuck, Draco? Yeah. What does this mean? Oh my god.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god, he's gonna drag me, and I'm not even gonna be surprised, but that's fine. That's my local bartender. I went for coffee, not for alcohol. If you're gonna yell at me for alcohol, just yell at how much soju I'm drinking, man.
Soju is just flavored vodka, you know?
It basically is.
It used to be made with rice. They switched over to making it with starch in more modern production.
Wait,
So-
for real? I didn't even know that. Hello?
Yeah, so it literally is just flavored vodka. The other thing that is just flavored vodka is gin, but that one has the more profile of juniper berries instead.
There's just, yep. But that just reminded me, thinking of rice wine. I actually do drink makgeolli. I don't know if you know what that is.
Maybe 50-50.
It's like a specific like Korean rice wine. Makgeolli. They have like different types of flavors. I
Okay.
always drink the banana one. The banana one tastes really good.
Banana and alcohol. Can't say I've tried it actually.
Yeah, I mean it's not super strong. It's not gonna like screw you with like soju, but I mean it's alcohol.
Soju's not too bad. For some people I knew soju was considered water. Oh boy.
That is true. Yeah, unfortunately. Ugh.
Soju was water. I watched as a guy downed his 20-second cup of it and I was like, oh god, how does he...
20 second cover. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we were at a K-barbecue place and they ordered soju non-stop because it was very cheap there.
I mean, yeah, soju is very accessible, man.
I mean, I joined up to about the 11 mark or so, but yeah, those guys kept going.
Yeah, I think anyone who like drinks vodka like on the daily, well, not the daily, because that's very unhealthy. But like vodka's like their go-to stuff. Soju's probably like, yeah, I could drink this like water. It's nothing to me.
But vodka is a case of it managed to ruin an entire country. just by its existence. There is a pretty nice video out there on how vodka more or less ruined Russia, but yeah, that one's a fun case
For
study.
real? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look that up.
If there's one thing that's always consistent about every civilization in existence is they, at some point, will manufacture alcohol. So yeah, functionally, anything that any civilization that exists has its own form of alcohol, regardless of how it's produced.
Like, historically wise, it's easier. Like, wasn't it alcohol was easier to make instead of finding clean water? Wasn't that the thing?
50-50. Kinda. It was more a case of production, just a case of set it aside. Or it might have originally kind of a case of set it aside as preserve, essentially, and leave a couple of fruits in there, maybe for some flavor. Then it ended up becoming, well, fermented and getting a certain taste to it. And then people just enjoyed that. Yeah. It was pretty much grain storage, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Might have to look up into YouTube videos. I looking at that stuff too. How stuff was made, or at least lore stuff. Anything of the sort.
Because yeah, for me personally, I'm a writer by trade, usually. Apart from game design, I do writing. And
that's good.
One of the main things is, when it comes to world building, you need to first ask the question, what do they eat? The second question after that comes, what do they drink? And from there, you can develop an entire culture around just those two questions.
Because, I mean, I can see that from already. Like, what did they eat, etc. Like, if it's like a lot of seafood, they're probably near the sea to begin with.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, getting the history of alcohol here. Good stuff.
We love our alcohol enthusiast Connors. Talking in chat. Oh my goodness. She was just good. Oh my god.
But yeah.
Oh, Dracula.
Pretty much it's a case of, for myself, it was me reading way too much into alcohol, because at some point someone had given me a book about cocktails. This was when I was 12.
12! Well, they wanted to show your priorities already, I guess, man.
They thought it was just like, at the time, they probably had like bad English or whatnot, and they probably thought it was just a book about like fruity drinks or whatever. But then when you read through and it's telling your kid about vodka, gin, rum, all of these specific categories for cocktails, then it's like, oh boy. And when I looked all of these things up online, I was like, oh wait, these are way too expensive for my pocket change to check, or to try out. So I scrolled all the way to the back and it's all the mocktails instead. And yeah, that started me on mixing drinks, essentially.
Well, at least it wasn't like, okay, son, you may have this book of cocktails, you will now become a bartender in the future. At least it's not like that.
I had the typical expectations on me: become a doctor, a lawyer,
we love
a scientist,
our Asian
or whatever. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I failed all of those. I became a game designer.
At least it's something. Some people just don't really have an idea of what to do.
Becoming a game dev is the one path you take if you have literally zero clue of what you want to do. Because it makes use of functionally everything in existence. If you are a game dev, you should be one of the most resourceful bastards out there, simply because you've walked everywhere.
Oh yeah, and this is why I salute to game devs a lot, because oh my god, they're the most overworked and underpaid people ever in the industry. Yeah. Oh my god, how many game devs have I known lately, or at least people in the community, in our community, I guess. So many. But at least they're going.
Yeah.
You're going through it for passion, right? At least, like, you're doing this for passion, right? At least you wanted to be a game dev.
Let's see. Game dev, I get paid for, so that's perfectly fine for me, really. For VTubing, that's definitely more of the passion side. Just like, yeah, stream. That's nice. But game dev's a case of I get paid on, rather than by the hour, by the amount of words I write. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You get to use the writing stuff. Okay, you're on the writing side of things. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really nice.
I mean, my personal rate is 20 cents per word. Which
Oh, wow,
is
okay.
considered fairly high, actually. Because if you go to any cheap writing mill, they can be as low as 1 cent to 5 cents. But if you know that your work is good and premium, then you can charge a fair bit. For instance,
Oh, wow.
when I used to work back at a sort of ghostwriting sort of place, my rate was closer to 80 cents per word. But that was because the articles were very short. And you'd get quite the payout, actually, pretty much. But then for long-term jobs, I go as low as 20 cents per word, because that's just consistent pay, and may as well keep the client happy, essentially.
Oh my god. Well, at least you're getting paid for that, because a lot of I feel like a lot of people end up wanting to go towards some sort of passion, or at least something that they can do really well. But then life is just haha, you cannot do this, or you don't really go into the right areas to market yourself towards whatever you're really good at. So
Yeah, I sit in that awkward place of being an all-rounder as well.
yeah, I kind of feel you right there, because I mean, it's another thing with the whole VTubing stuff. Like I said, I have so many hobbies. I always end up doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, the writing, the singing.
Singing,
Oh my god,
up a couple of years ago, but yeah.
Oh, but if you could sing, you could sing. Some people can actually sing. It's just they haven't really practiced that much.
Yeah, that's
why
pretty
you
much
just
how I
gotta
felt it was with myself, because it was a case of I had a gut feeling I could probably sing, but any time that I tried was really monotone. Then the one time I got dragged out for karaoke at a certain place, started singing, I was like, oh wait, I can pull this off. Shit, alright.
Oh my god.
And that turned me into a karaoke addict. I frequent that place at least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. And then apart from that, I sing weekly on stream, but yeah.
Wait, on stream too? Hello? Okay, I'm gonna have to keep an eye out, because I actually do one of my favorite streams that I like to go to is actually music streams.
Oh.
So if you're making music or if you're singing, I'm definitely gonna be on there. Yeah, I do like that stuff.
Because yeah, singing live is fun. Singing recording is, I find it as a different kind of hell when you have to keep listening back to your voice on loop, which is why I haven't really released covers. It's a case of I don't do covers because I don't really want to hear myself again at times. When you're singing live, it's one and done. But yeah, usually it's a stream on Fridays. I just call it open mic because anyone's free to show up. As long as they're sitting in a certain Discord server, then yeah, they can join up, come along.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out, because I think a good chunk of VTubers that I shrimp for big time, they know how to sing.
Oh boy. I'll say my singing has a certain voice to it, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel as long as yeah, I feel it's a lot of people are oh, I'm not good at singing. It's it's more you gotta choose the specific songs that would fit your tone of voice, or at least your range, your current range.
Right. One of the first people I interviewed, I wanted to shoot him in the head after he sung during the interview, because I was like, you bastard, you have a ridiculous talent for this. that was Yasen, actually.
Oh my goodness.
Because Yasen, when I heard him sing online, I was like, what in the hell? Dude, okay, that first off, that was an original song. Second off, you can sing ridiculously well, so please, for the love of God, do something with it. Because fella had come from a theater background, and yeah, some bits of musicals apparently. And when I'd heard that, I was like, okay, what can this original song sound like? And when he sung it, it sounded like something that would come out of Broadway, essentially. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, you're a theater boy. It kind of makes sense. Oh my god. Well, I love that stuff. I like one of my favorite musicals is actually Hamilton. So like I'm a
Oh,
big
Hamilton, good
yeah.
stuff. Yes.
I always just I feel like lately because of the VTubing scene, like it has brought out a whole like just recently I just started like kind of like marathoning like Disney movies in general.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah.
Well, one of my tutors right now is actually ended up having one of her songs poached for a Disney film, which was just crazy amount of money. It's just like, shit, okay, one of my tutors is ridiculously famous now, just as a writer, or composer. But yeah, Hamilton, oh boy. Why?
Um,
Why did you have to bring up Hamilton here? If there's one song I love in Hamilton, it's either Non-Stop or Wait For It. Just those two specifically.
Non-stop's my favorite one. Oh, oh
Because
god. Actually, there's so many
Non-Stop
songs.
manages to take all of the motifs in the first half and pump them out
Mm-hmm.
really damn well. Like, just condense it down to when the character shows up, you hear their leitmotif and you know it's their story.
Oh god. I love oh my god. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, Lin Manuel did so freaking good with
Yeah,
all this
he
stuff with the
really
combining.
did.
Oh my god, I don't.
The other thing I have an issue with Lin-Manuel is he's not a particularly good singer himself. But the people which take on his roles and sing well is just like, damn, this works way too well, essentially.
Oh my god, especially Aaron Burr's original casting of Aaron Burr. I love
Yeah.
his voice so much. Oh my
Yep.
god.
The one thing
So
I'll say
well.
with that guy is on the studio recording, it's a bit sad that they auto-tune him, but on the live version, it's really nice. But specifically on the studio one, you can hear the tuning, which is a bit sad.
Man. Yeah, auto tuning is not really a big thing for me.
Okay, the way I'll put auto-tuning is most people just use the shorthand of auto-tuning and kind of put it as a whole blanket sort of thing of, oh, they don't have any skill or whatever. It's more a case of there's a very significant difference between auto-tune and manual tuning. And one day after a certain cover is released, I will showcase that example on stream, and it's pretty hilarious, actually.
Oh, I'm. Oh,
Because
okay.
the auto-tuned version sounds like absolute shit. And then the manual tuned version sounds possible.
Oh my god.
Because auto-tune, the way it works is you feed it a bunch of notes and tell it to tune a person's voice to these notes. Now, naturally, a human's voice to most people sound in a specific kind of tone, essentially. So it'll sound as if you're making a C or a D or an E or whatever, do, re, mi, or fa, for instance. What auto-tune will do is it will take that note, that you initially sung, and pitch it to the correct note, without any regard for how it will actually sound in the final product.
Oh.
Now,
You aren't going to for a second try, bro.
yeah, when it's auto-tuned, it usually means you are so bad that we cannot do anything about it. We will let the system work its magic, and that's it.
Man.
When it comes to manual tuning, though, that's an entirely different story. Manual tuning is like video editing or Photoshop, even. It's a case of you're very specific with how you're doing it. You're picking out the finer details, finding harsh frequencies, tuning those accordingly, EQing those out, or just moving the notes in such a way that it doesn't sound absolutely bonkers. For Aaron Burr's original performance on the studio, thankfully it is manual tuning rather than straight auto-tune. So it is a case of it still sounds passable, still sounds decently nice. And when you look at stuff like, I don't know if you were around for Rebecca Black and when she released Friday, that's auto-tuned to shit, and that got hated on by the community as large, because you could tell at that point that particular agency wasn't hiring people for having talents or hard work. They were hiring people that looked nice, looked pretty, and had them sing with whatever they had, but auto-tuned it to hell.
Yeah, the amount of hate after that. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
Because damn. That's just a misconception on tuning, pretty much.
I wonder, can I like reach out to you like after this if I ever need like, well, I mean like I guess advice, because the thing is like I want to do song covers so badly, but I just don't know, like, you know, when you try to like commission someone and then, well, specifically for like the mixing stuff or like the whole tweaking stuff for the audio, I have no clue about the terminology for like everything. I'm just like, what mixing? What is the?
You're speaking to a future audio engineer, pretty much, but yeah. Yeah, I can help with that kind of stuff. I'm a lot better on the live side of things, but for studio stuff, yeah, I can say a thing or two, at least.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because that's probably the only reason why I don't even have covers to begin with, because I just don't know what to commission. Oh,
because, okay, a friend told me this recently. So back in the old Untitled community, so yonks ago, pretty much, there was a whole bunch of people that had no idea what was mixing or how to mix things. And one of the memes was, how do you mix? And that was something that was said way too often. And eventually some high profile fella in that community came out with a video of how to mix, and it was them mixing up some food of some kind. And that's all they did for that specific video.
Well, and this is why I don't know how to do anything, man. For this side, yeah, I need to. I feel like once I finally understand that, I could finally like. I think another thing I have to do is just commission people for background music, and that's another thing I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't know what I'm commissioning.
Background music. There's a lot of people I can recommend. A heck of a lot.
That'd be great.
Because you've seen Yu before, or Yu Kohaku before. The other Aussie, yeah, that we sat in the chat trying to traumatize you. Anyway, yeah, they can pull off instrumental stuff. I think their comms are closed for now, though. There is another Aussie guy I know by the name of Zomu. That guy is a living legend as far as I'm concerned. He does the more electro sort of stuff. But he specifically has a very good mantra about it. So when I met the guy in person, it was a case of I was just playing random songs on a piano, and he came along, he was like, oh, can I have a shot? And then he just started improvising a whole bunch of stuff, and I was like, damn, man, you're good. He's like, yeah, I prefer having a more melodic taste to certain things. But yeah, when it comes to specifically Zomu stuff, you'll notice there's very strong melodies played throughout, and it's like, oh, he keeps this motif inside. There's a couple of VTubers which actually have their BGMs made by Zomu, actually.
Oh,
and
okay.
that would be, if I'm to label the two that I know well off the top of my head, that's Komatsu Sasha and Negnasu. Both of them have their original BGMs, both made by Zomu. And that guy, actually, he had an even more yikes moment, actually. So he made a song that was called Lanterns, and that song was used as Nakiri Ayame's ending theme for the better part of a couple of months. And I was just like, wait, what the fuck? How did you? And as it turned out, all of his stuff is, how does one say, public domain. So when he releases his music, he normally puts it as Creative Commons, actually. Which means that, yeah, anyone can pick it up and make use of it if they want to. But if you're getting something specific from him, then yeah, you can discuss terms, rights, whatever. Guy can also do mixing. Guy is very competent at mixing even. He's a fellow I consider... I have a lot of respect for the guy, because holy hell. Apart from that, there's a million other students that I'm going through this damn course with that can mix stuff pretty damn well. Though they're more on the rock side of things. Or rock and hard metal, pretty much.
Oh, rocking.
So when I'm in class, I'm there working on my electro or J-pop sounding piece, and they're messing with like distortion on their guitars. And I'm just like, shit.
Be like our different sounds of taste. Oh man.
Yeah, then there's one guy which is a good friend of mine at this point, and he just messes with a synth, so you get all this very space sounding stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's like high sci-fi essentially. It's like, oh god, that sounds really cosmic. I'm just like, all right, okay. I listen to it. I'm like, all right, you know what would make this even better? I grab even more synths, and I'm like, here, there's this entire synth library of which is just called cosmic whatever sound. Try throwing these in and see what you get.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my god. Yeah, recommend these people because like I said, I guess I'm kind of leaving the whole background like music commission still like open because I still have to like finalize on what kind of sound I want for specifically for like the re-debuted stuff. So I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll see if this fella's interested, because, yeah, he was the one guy where I went, hey, so you know about VTubers? And he was like, no, please don't, please don't.
Knock, 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 it's a VTuber trying to commission you. At the moment you get commissioned by one VTuber, all the other VTubers are going to show up, so be ready for that if you decide to.
Yeah, having connections in the kind of studio sort of domain is fun, because it's like, oh, yeah. You know all these musicians that you can turn to for advice, or just all these musicians that know their stuff better or know their specific genre a lot better. Because me, yeah, I listen to way too many different things. Way too many different things.
Gotta keep well, I mean, I haven't. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like a lot of like jack of trades like type of people. We like to keep our stuff like very open. Like we like to like be very open to many things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just like that.
No, I think it's kind of that mindset of you see something cool, you want to try it, you try it, it's cool. All right, what's the next cool thing?
Basically. Oh god,
okay,
I have a one-track mind for that.
Yeah, here's a random question then, just another curveball, because I haven't thrown that many tonight actually. What is the most useless skill that you've learnt?
Oh god. A useless skill.
So just something that you can't really see yourself ever practically using.
I don't know. I feel like stuff I've done, it's because of out of like... I don't know. I feel like most of the stuff I've done has been very like I guess like mainstream in general, or like people like to do it like mainstream wise. Like I haven't really... Okay, maybe... Okay, do you know that like those types of people who like to do like the twirling stuff on with their pencil?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to like learn how to do that stuff, so I got like a little bit in me. Like, no, like the little basic of the twirling stuff, and then I was like, never mind, what am I doing? I even made a fanfic about that. Well, not really fanfic, I made an original story about that shit because I thought it was cool.
Oh my god, about twirling a pencil.
Yes, about twirling a pencil!
I just tried to twirl a paintbrush and I failed, but anyway.
Oh god. But yeah, that stuff is a lot of fun. So I was like, well, I'm never gonna use this. It's I'm gonna just file it away and I'm gonna forget about it. So... Original story? I don't know what original story. What are you talking about?
Oh boy. Because for me, by far, the two most useless skills I've learnt, one of them is fortune telling, and the other is... Let's see, the other is flipping a butterfly knife. Because where the hell am I going to use that?
Flipping a butterfly. Would you like to see this party trick?
Yeah, most of the more useless stuff I've learned are just straight party tricks, like fortune telling, for instance. That one is 100% a party trick.
You use tarot readings for D&D. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
If you check in the redeems on my channel, there actually are tarot readings.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
So 1 card fortune, 3 card spread, and full spread, or 3 card fortune and full spread. All of those are tarot based.
I'll score your face. Wait, hold on. I got this. Hold up. Boom.
Oh, Christ. Okay. Alright, let me pull 1 card. So I'll just be pulling from Major Arcana, omit the Minor Arcana, because that's an entire clusterfuck of its own. that I'd rather not use if I can help it, because the meanings of those are so drastically different that I normally just subscribe to one meaning for the entire suit and then degrees of said meaning. Alright, 1 card fortune. Judgment in the reverse position. I will pretend I didn't see that.
What does that mean? Especially when I know that the reverse side is not really a welcoming. Oh boy.
So, sometimes it's welcome, sometimes it's welcome. Other times it's like, eh.
Oh boy.
Generally speaking, judgment in the upright position is kind of like, how does one say? It's like that penultimate step to reaching enlightenment, if you will. That's how I read it. So, ridiculous amount of introspection and, well, the good kind of introspection, and just that last step, part with your worldly desires before you can attain better. As for in the reverse position, this is the opposite. This is having a ridiculous amount of attachments and a lot of self-doubt. So in terms of a 1 card reading, yes, that is, you're going through moments of self-doubt and obsessiveness, essentially. That's why I said I'll pretend That's why I said I'll pretend I didn't see that one.
Now, like the tarot card kind of calling me out on my returning obsession of Final Fantasy VII. Let's go, baby.
FF7. Oh boy. The most I know about FF7 in terms of story is the big spoiler regarding Aerith and then Crisis Core. That's about it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, Crisis Core. Oh, don't make me cry. Oh,
Crisis Core.
I played it the 4th time on stream.
Yeah,
well, not the 4th time I've ever streamed.
I was like, wait, you're playing Crisis Core on stream? Holy hell.
Yeah. And it still hits me till this day. I played it 4 times and it still hits me. It's not fair.
Because, yeah, the last moments of Crisis Core are just, oh, god damn it.
It's not fair. It's not fair
really
at all.
is,
And that's why I have hope. I have hope for the future.
You've played 7 Remake, yeah?
Yep.
And you saw the after credits.
Yep.
They really are going such a different direction with that. Holy hell.
Oh god. I don't know how I'm gonna stress this. Like, if I could sell all my freaking limbs just to have part 2, I will literally do that. I'm not joking. I need part 2.
Oh, boy.
I've succumbed to AO3 fanfics. You know how far I've fallen. I've fallen this hard again. God damn it. Oh
boy. Yeah. Just FF7 has spawned so much and has so much cultural relevance that's like, when it comes to JRPGs, I think it's that kind of case of essential reading, I guess. Where if you want quintessential JRPG, play FF7 at some point.
Oh.
Because then you understand the mentality of the gameplay blended between story and how much impact this story can have on gameplay. Because, for instance, after that Aerith part, the point where you just don't have certain abilities anymore, it's just like, oh god, this feels terrible.
Oh yeah. Oh, God.
And well,
I don't know how they're gonna do this.
Yeah, that, like, as it is, that ending that they did for part 1 already pissed off so many people, but at the same time, also paves the way in saying, we aren't going to do the exact same thing here. And it's that kind of scary feeling of just, the writers have full control, once again.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh no, everything is up for grabs now, and oh my god.
Because, yeah, all of the guys in, what was it, Sector 7, Sector 8, whichever it was? Yeah. All those guys at the end, it's just like, what? Hold up, that's gonna change the story a lot.
Oh man. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I will literally sell all my limbs just so I can see a part 2 because
I have a
I don't know if I could be
feeling.
patient.
I have a feeling they'll make it a free-parter.
Yeah, I mean everything comes in threes. That's what they all say. It always comes in threes. Man,
It's
man.
Square. Actually, it's Square Enix. They might only do 2. Depends on
Hmm.
how much they put into it.
It's just like, I mean, I guess it depends on like how well the PS5 will be able to run or take this this part 2.
I think it'll perform a lot better. Definitely, is what I'll say.
Yeah. Oh, you think the plan was 4 parts? I mean, that makes sense. Final Fantasy VII in general was stinkingly long. It was so long. Like, but then it makes sense why it was long. It was just so
Yeah,
chunky. Oh,
because yeah,
so many things
the
happen.
city was just the first part. So
I know. And you can literally get out of the city in like the first like 30 minutes of gameplay in like the actual like original one.
yep,
Until like when I was like, wait, all of Midgar's in part 1? Hello? What did
yep.
they put in this? Oh my god.
But yeah, just that game's animation budget and just how high the production value is just crazy.
Oh my god. I'm so scared.
Because yeah, I know Square makes a shit ton of money out of other things like FF14. They are still rolling in the cash for that even. But yeah.
And I'm willingly throwing all the cash at FF7 till this day. Yep. Not at me looking at play arts figures again today for like the 5th time.
Oh boy. Yeah, they
Should I
know.
buy this Cloud Advent Children figure? Nah, I shouldn't.
Right, so which is your favorite character in FF7 then?
Oh, Zack Fair. I have a soft spot for my puppy soldier. Man. Man. Cause like
Yes.
he's like the generic like hero type that you just can't help but love.
Soldier man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
just
then I do
remember him
love Cloud a
saying,
lot.
yeah, I just remember Zach saying specifically, yeah, that's what it means to be soldier. I'm like, uh, god damn it,
No.
why?
God. Am I a hero now? Yes, you are, Zach. Yes, you are. Oh God. The leaves are 14. Yeah. Oh my God.
14 I was stuck in for the longest time because I even started doing like frontline savage raiding and I was just like, that was a painful experience. Because the static I was a part of, they disbanded like a month or 2 later simply because the healer, ironically, had heart disease.
Oh. Oh.
And was going in for heart surgery, so yeah. Not 100% sure if they made it out on the other side, but yeah, that's what happened with my healer.
Well. Hopefully they're recovering. Well.
Hopefully. But yeah, as for how I got out of FF14, when Shadowbringers dropped, I was just like, I don't want to do this story grind. And the classes I play felt terrible at Shadowbringers launch, so it's like,
Oof. Oof.
So it's like, oh, Dark Knight? Oh, wait, they changed the entire kit. Oh, this is sad now, kinda. Apparently it's really good now, I don't know. Anyway, then there was the 2 casting classes I played, which was Summoner and Black Mage, and that was just like, oh, these feel too different now. These feel way too different. I'm out of here. And then I came back recently and was just like, oh, yeah, free weekend, I'll play for like a day. Played for a day, don't want to go back ever. The 1 day experience coming back was the most miserable thing possible that I was just like, nope, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh my God. I'm barely at like. It's just like it's just like I guess my current mindset is that I can barely go through MMOs now lately, so that I'm just like the grind at the beginning of an MMO already turns my mind off. I'm just like, God. Also, hold on, I'll be right back quickly. Ooh.
Alright. Guess I'll just rag on a bit about FF14. Let's see. Best story. It's close to an isekai story, so it kind of rubs me the wrong way at first. The later parts of it do feel very well constructed though, I will give it that. But yeah, a lot of it, but yeah. Specifically though, for the 1-day experience that I came back to, I had just gotten up to Titania normal. I went in, we wiped 3 times. We eventually passed after getting the echo, and I was like, oh boy. But yeah, coming back and wiping 3 times and having... Coming back, wiping 3 times and seeing myself at the top of the passer was one of the most depressing experiences possible. Because it was myself playing Summoner, hitting the top of the passer, followed by a raid-geared tank, of which had dragged me up in the queue. Then everyone else was just significantly underneath, and I was like, oh, so that's why. This is horrifying.
Back.
Welcome back.
Oops.
Oh, here I was told to ask you about the player character in the trailer of FF14.
It
For
was
some reason.
Percival, wasn't it? Oh my
Yeah.
lord. Son of a...
So what was the thing with that? In which case?
Let me strip for people. Okay, the whole time I thought the player character, like the on the trailers for Final Fantasy 14, was someone that I was gonna meet in Final Fantasy 14. And I was like, I was so ready. Like I started the MMO, like I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna shrimp big time. And then I find out that was supposed to be me.
I will say, in the current
Oh.
expansion, you do eventually meet said character, but in a very weird, twisted way. Yeah.
A version of him?
Yep.
For real? Is it kind of like Dragon's Dogma, where you're like, oh look,
Oh, you played
It's
Dragon's
another-
Dogma? Oh god.
I have played a lot of interesting games.
Okay, honestly, Dragon's Dogma is by far one of my favorite games in terms of combat. That game knows how to do combat.
Oh,
essentially.
definitely. I think that's the reason why I was very like it kind of easily transitioned me into Monster Hunter World with the whole like clutch claw stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I do like mounting the monsters a lot.
Here's the
The
thing
weapons.
with Dragon's Dogma though. Do you know what its original basis is, or no?
As in like the reason why Dragon's Dogma even was made in the first place.
Yeah, do you know the inspiration for it?
Oh, I don't know the inspiration, but I remember they were using it kind of like a test run for like the bigger thing later on that they wanted to do, or some sort of like MMO.
So the original inspiration for Dragon's Dogma was Dungeons and Dragons,
Oh, okay.
which is why some of the mechanics exist in the way that they do, including grappling. The whole grappling thing is all D&D. Because the way it works in D&D is the exact same way it works in Dragon's Dogma.
Oh shit. Okay, well.
And it's
I didn't know
also
that.
why a lot of the monsters are very generic. And the setting itself is quite generic as well, because it is just 5th edition D&D.
Explains the mimics. Oh. Man. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, it is a very generic fantasy setting, and there are some parts of it where I'm just like, holy hell, why? God, why? Have you done this?
See-
But yeah.
I feel like with the generic fantasy setting is kind of needed recently though, because I feel like a lot of people have taken like the fantasy setting and then they've been like throwing it a bunch of other stuff at it. If that makes sense. So like just normal fantasy is not really
Oh,
here.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
Deconstructed fantasy is by far more popular. You can blame Song of Ice and Fire for that, pretty much. Because that thing is your full deconstruction and full crapsack fantasy, of which people seem to appreciate.
Oh god, that reminds me of Elden Sword,
Elden Ring,
That's
I
coming.
think. Yeah.
Oh, Elden Ring, yeah, yep. Can't wait. Can't wait to see
Because-
how that's gonna turn out.
'Cause, yeah, at
Be
this point,
interesting.
people like dark fantasy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the more edge there is to it, the more it's appreciated for some reason. At this point. Because holy hell, if you break down certain stories, it's like, why? God, why is everything so terrible? Things didn't have to be this terrible. By looking this terrible, you've made everything else seem not as terrible in comparison. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma, the story in that is very generic up until the post game.
Oh god, the post game was so freaking trippy.
The post game is the one redeeming element of the story, and what I find as absolutely balls to the wall insane. Why didn't you pull this out earlier? Kind of shit.
Oh my god.
Because as much as I'd want to talk about it here, it is ridiculous spoiler territory. Because it undermines the entire plot of the game. Like, just wait. It's a moment of wait, what the fuck? Because, yeah, when you see certain things, witness certain events, it's just like, oh god. God, why? That there are so many ways this could have gone different, but you had to choose this way.
Me with so many things at the beginning of Final Fantasy VII. Just remove 2 scientists out of the equation and people would be 10 times happier. Oh.
Christ. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god.
Some of the scenes in the original are a lot more impactful for FF7, but then some of them in the remake are just kind of weird. Like when you go into the labs and then instead of seeing like blood everywhere, you just see like goop.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and like I guess since it's more like realistic, I guess like when like the actual like bombings of the Mako reactors,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh my god, like characteristic like little polygon people getting smushed, and then you see it in the remake, and you're like, okay, well, this doesn't look good.
Yeah, the amount of collateral damage that's on display in the remake is just like, oh boy.
You're like, oh. So this what it would have looked like if this was displayed in kind of like Avon Children type of style. Oh, okay, people getting smashed. Well,
Avon Children gave me some weird vibes in some places.
It's weird in terms of like certain stuff that they went with, but then also kind of makes sense in other aspects. I guess like kind of like Cloud's development too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I watched a video recently. I've been binge watching YouTube videos on Final Fantasy VII stuff.
At the end, and it's like,
no. That killed me, and till this day, this is the reason why I have the freaking Blu-ray edition. I have the Blu-ray edition of Final Fantasy VII. If Advent Children, you can make fun of me now.
But at least Advent Children complete, right? Or just Advent Children?
Oh no, it was the complete one, yeah.
Okay.
So it has like the extra stuff too. But oh my god.
Because yeah, there is more so like animation parts which kind of rub me the wrong way because it strikes into that uncanny valley, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Because yeah, when you see Cloud's motorbike up close, it's like, wait, this looks too real. And then you see an anime character on top, it's like, okay.
Oh my god. Now I'm curious if like I wonder if they'll do anything with Advent Children now that we're having a remake. You know? Well, I think they said they were adding them in adding the like spin-off stuff to like the mobile thing, I think.
Yeah, they wanted to add extra. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go cry, and I'm probably gonna lose a lot of money by the time that thing comes out. I'm just ready to throw money.
Yeah. Okay, come to think of it, in that regard, do you think we'll ever hit that point of uncanny valley for VTubers?
Oh god, as in like,
where it's too close to lifelike, yet not hitting that lifelike sort of portion.
As in like the model, or as in like just the
model wise.
Model wise, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it kind of loses the aspect of the whole like, I don't know, like 2D anime stuff. But like, I guess not everyone kind of likes that stuff. So if we do end up getting that, I mean, it's you can just call yourself an actual AI for once, because I feel like if you think of like realistic AIs, you're like, oh yeah, uncanny valley it is, I guess.
Oh Christ, yeah, that is Uncanny Valley, what that fella just mentioned. Project Miko. Yep.
Project Vigo. Yeah. But in terms of like streaming wise or like content wise, I don't think it will reach there. But the the thing that will kind of stress me out a little bit is if finally we've reached a part like because you know we're still like technically tiny, but we're growing at an exponential rate. With a lot of people joining the whole VTubing wagon, but there's gonna be a part where like a lot of people have become VTubers. It has just become the norm to see like a 2D anime or a 3D anime person as like your content or your streamer.
Okay, brand
I'm
name
just
wise,
waiting for that.
it actually isn't too surprising because after Kizuna Eye, a lot of companies tried picking up on it and making a cute anime girl into their mascot, essentially.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just waiting for
I know
the West to do that now.
Microsoft in
Oh.
certain countries actually did that.
Oh, okay.
And with a couple of other tech companies gave their shot at it, essentially.
And the tech companies.
Because yeah, they figured, oh yes, if we can appeal to another market, then yes, by all means, appeal to said market.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think if you were to ask like people in general nowadays, like, oh yeah, you like anime? People are like, yeah, that's like a norm now. It's like it's not like a thing that like, oh, you like anime? Like, oh my god, you know, kind of just like the normal thing nowadays. Ask 15 years ago, people like, ew, you like anime? It's considered really weird, or like a niche, I guess.
Yeah, it was considered a niche. Like when I was going up through high school, I was that idiot who was peddling it around, pretty much.
Oh my god.
And yeah, that was a trip, really, because I'd get a lab coming up to me in the middle of like a lunchtime or something. He's like, "Walla, cuz, you got the good shit?" I'm like, here we go again."
Oh gosh.
Because yeah, just that stuff was whack, or really whack, pretty much. Or my high school in general was really freaking whack. A lot of stories from then, but that's for another time.
Stories left untold. So many stories.
But yeah, Alex, yeah, it was the Code Miko thing that I just looked at and was like, oh Christ, that is ridiculous Uncanny Valley. And yeah,
Not mute.
he does mention that, yeah, it's far away from the current meta. Okay, say you had to make a successful VTuber right now and follow some kind of formula or meta or whatever, what would you be trying to make?
If I was following a formula or a meta?
If you were trying to make just the ideal VTuber for mass market appeal or whatever.
Okay. Are you talking about like all the good stuff that just ends up like making a VTuber grow really stinkingly quick?
Yep. If you had unlimited budget.
Oh, unlimited, huh? Okay, well then. Let's see. If you think about Gura, because that's like if you think about like Hololive #1 streamer, that's Gura right there. We're thinking of like cute, small, very widely appealing, knows how to talk to chat basically. I guess like very good at singing too, because Gura also knows how to sing too. Like I feel like if as long as they could reach like multiple aspects in terms of entertainment, you're always gonna have endless entertainment with this streamer or whatever thing that they're making content. That's why like Kizuna Ai, like the whole dancing and the singing stuff appeals to everyone. Let's see. I guess it's like the humor. It's definitely the humor. I feel like if the humor is very like wildly appealing to a lot of masses, and not just like not in the lewd sense, but in like basically just like the very wisecrack stuff that a lot of people can get, even like younger ages. Yeah, Gura is unique.
Gura manages to pull off quite a bit with their platform.
And she has more experience than a lot of people. That's why when she became Gura, I feel like she did super well with growing that quickly.
Because original lots of crazy numbers and had been in the game for quite a while. So it's like, damn, when they transitioned over, it was just crazy.
And one thing that if I were to choose like a specific like, I don't know, thing that seems to appeal to a lot of masses, I don't know why, but like a lot of people like sea creature VTubers. That seems to be very high up there.
Sea creatures. Oh boy.
Yeah, I can already name a couple. Like we got our crab VTuber, we got our clam VTuber, we got like how many dolphin VTubers I can name already, and we got our so many shark VTubers, and they seem to grow pretty fast.
But the sharks are everywhere, man. The sharks are everywhere.
The sharks are everywhere. Oh my god.
One interesting question to ask most sharks would be, oh, what kind of shark are you?
What kind of shark am I? I don't know many too sharks. I like one of the sharks I could think of the top of my head is a hammer shark because I can't see. I can't see in front of me because I'm very blind. A lot of my crew know.
My god.
Hammerhead. Yeah.
Very, very Aussie. Yes.
Not enough seals.
Oh, I do know one guy who is a seal. And he is very Aussie too. Actually went drinking with this guy. Let's see.
I wonder if I know of any Australians.
Azarashi Yuki, I think it was. I forget what he
does.
Oh,
Yuki?
Yeah.
I thought his pet was a freaking, well, not pet, but like
his boss.
His boss is a seal. Wait, you know him too?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I went drinking with the guy.
He's Aussie. Okay, well, I guess I know too many Aussie people.
Somehow, yeah. But yes, this man. Christ, he is one heck of an alcoholic, I'll say.
Oh my lord.
Because the people sitting at the table were myself, Blue, and Yuki. And yeah, that was a trip.
No such thing as too many Aussies. I feel like it's just because like the amount of times I ever like interact with people is on the stinking Aussie hours all the time. So even you, I didn't even know you was a freaking Australian until like voice chat. All the Aussies were in like.
Oh well, like the accent doesn't give it away.
I was just like, like it's not. I usually don't really think of it. I usually think everyone's stinking East Coast. I don't know why, but it just seems like I meet a lot of East Coast people, man.
Because yeah, for myself, normally when I speak to someone from the US or on that side of the world, they immediately pick out the accent, and I'm like, it's not that strong. I've seen people with much worse. But yeah, Aussies, I don't know. I've ended up meeting way too many that are just in the VTubing sort of sphere of just Aussies, and it's like, because you mention it once and all of them seem to pop out of the woodwork. It's just like,
oh god.
It's like, wait, you're Aussie? Wait, you're Aussie? Hold up, you're Aussie too.
Oh god, that's like me with the Canadians as well. There seems to be a lot of Canadian VTubers as well.
Christ, because I took, like, I've met up with a decent few of them at some point, and it's just like, oh Christ. Because, yeah, I went to a karaoke session, which was just 5 Aussie VTubers, pretty much. I was just like, god damn. Because that was Blue, Nana Asteria, Emery Ringo, and Yuki, or Azarashi Yuki, and yeah, all of them were full Aussie. I'm just like, god damn.
Oh god.
As a side note, Nana is going to be the one that I'm interviewing this Friday.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Christ almighty, yeah. I don't know. Since Rira, I think I've managed to get one person a week, roughly, for interviews. Yeah, thereabouts. Because it's just a case of, yeah. By the end of the previous interview, I normally have someone lined up for the next one at some point.
At least it's consistent. which I always say, always be consistent.
So yeah, in which case your recipe for success is more or less along the lines of, let's see, be cute, have a certain kind of mass appeal comedy, and then, consistency, I suppose.
Yeah, because a lot of like when you think of like I guess like top streamers, not really streamers, just top content streamer creators, you know, like Korone, Pekora, like Gura, like all those people. They're cute. They have some sort of appeal to the masses with their clumsiness and their humor. So, well, cuteness sells.
One interesting thought. Do you find yourself playing much into a character, or?
Of course. I think when I first started the thing, though, like I said, like I really didn't know what I was doing, but it's just I guess like when I play as I guess before Captain Rilu, it was very just me. It was like very me, but within a lot of caffeine. But now Captain Rilu is more like I am intimidating and I will beat anyone that doesn't think I'm intimidating. That's the character I play basically, or the gist of it.
And
but,
caffeine is now in your blood, by the same of it.
Caffeine. I am caffeine. Go look up what planet I'm from.
Good lord. So yeah, one of the odd things I found on your channel is you have a hydrate and you have a caffeinate regime. Good god, why? So if you're streaming towards the end of a night, what happens when someone hits the caffeinate button instead?
Well, I still drink my caffeine, and if I don't have caffeine, I open up a new Red Bull. Woohoo!
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, no surprise you're in Aussie hours then.
I know, right? And it's so funny because I feel like I always hit up to like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. time mark for me. Even on a work day, I was like, woohoo! I got work in 5 hours, guys, but I'm still up. Yeehaw. Might have to change after all the stuff for quarantine dies down, though.
Oh boy, yeah, quarantine has let me slack off way too much on certain things.
Oh god, don't even let me talk about my IRL stuff. Oh, that's a caffeine burp. Hold on. Okay. Having VTuber burps clipped me like 10 times in the stream. I've already muted myself so many times.
Oh lord.
Oh.
Yeah, caffeine. I'm glad caffeine just doesn't run in my blood, because for some reason I'm not the most sensitive to alcohol, but I am ridiculously sensitive to caffeine.
Do you get like super awake or like super sleepy? Because it seems like it's one of the two for most people.
Let's see, for caffeine it's a case of I drink it, my nose will probably start bleeding, and then apart from that it affects for up to 10 hours instead of the prescribed 4.
Oh my god!
I've been getting more used to it, but at the same time it's like, do I want to get used to caffeine?
Caffeine, unfortunately, is not for everyone. I think, for me, the only reason why I'm able to even do this is because I've already had, like, this caffeine addiction since Space Academy. Yeah, it's been like this for, like, probably, like, 2 plus 4 years.
I'm just glad that back in my uni days, I pretty much had such a long transit, I could just sleep on the train. So it really didn't affect me too much if I stayed up all night.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that reminds me of close calls when I was driving. Oh.
Hold up, drive properly.
Oh god, please get 8 hours of sleep before you drive. You don't want to be crashing into asteroids. I'm telling you, it's not a fun thing. Yeah, it's not a fun thing. Especially when you got a brand new, private spaceship. Oh no, you just got it for like a month and then you crash it during the first month you got it, yeah. Yeah. That hurt a lot.
Insurance, please.
Yeah. The insurance laughed at me. I still remember goes into insurance. Oh, you're finally gonna add yourself to your own insurance that you're gonna pay for the next couple of for the rest of your life. Oh, okay. As long as you're on your best behavior when you drive, right? A month later, yeah. So, I'm gonna have to take a. Yeah, about that best behavior. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Man.
I mean, from my experience, I don't drive just out of principle, very much. But a mate of mine was way too many under, speeding down the freeway with the rest of us in the back, and blasting Initial D music. So we were going, oh boy, at least 30 or 40 over the speed limit. But yeah.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Deja Vu was blasting out of the speakers.
Deja Vu. Oh gosh. When you feel yourself levitate, even though you're in a private spaceship and you even levitate more, then that's a problem.
Because, yeah, you could feel the speed, and then we went past the speed camera.
On the streets and
The speed camera was thankfully packing up for the night. God.
Oh my gosh.
That was like first year of like high school. That was crazy.
Oh my god, even you really man.
Oh man. Okay, let's see. Ah, yes. This fella, yes, Nerispark. This guy, yes. He's the fellow which I said made all the really cosmic sounding stuff.
Oh!
Did not expect him to show up here. I thought you had work today, man. I thought you had work.
Would you be willing for a VTuber commission? Oh my goodness.
You want to make some music, man? There's someone offering.
Oh my god, just know the moment you make one
The moment you make one, there's gonna be a lot more calling.
You better just be ready to be. Yep, that's true. I think I've seen people will be like, oh yeah, I'm opening myself to commissions, right? The moment they get a VTuber commission, oh my gosh. I think I've seen scab artists say like, no more VTubers. I don't want to have a VTuber as a scab anymore.
Oh lord.
You want weird space noises? Perfect. I need something for my soundboard anyway.
Because yeah, I do know this guy plays with a synth a lot, and holy hell. Synths are a very magical thing to mess with, I will say. It's kind of that feeling of tripping off. Because it's just like, oh lord. Everything sounds so nice, and just, oh god, you lose a couple of hours later just listening to whatever the hell you've created. Yeah. Man's got you covered.
Perfect.
I'll send his details over at some point. Anyway.
Yes, please. Yeah, I have like a whole list of Trello cards, and this space captain has a one-track mind and forgets about everything. So and background music is one of them that is on the card. Oh yeah.
Alright, since it's magical until you turn up something that shouldn't be turned up and the neighbors complain. Yeah. When you turn up something and only the animals can hear it.
Is that a high frequency I hear? The cats are meowing again. What the heckity?
It's a very real possibility though. When you mess with certain spectrums, it's just like, oh wait, why is the dog going berserk? Oh wait, why is the cat doing that?
Oh my god. Yep, soundboard stuff.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, it's fun to mess with, just audio in general, because once you get your hand around it, yeah. Oi. This guy.
Chicken house. Oh my god.
Okay, for a simple reference, this guy is more in the neck of the woods than I am, which is kind of hilarious. But at the same time, good God, man. Good God.
Oh god, I can imagine the neighbors. Hey, hello, officer. I would like to call a noise complaint. I think a spaceship is landing in our neighbor's house. Yeah, I don't
Way
know what
too
to say.
bassy. Oh man.
Yeah, boom.
There's never
enough
there's
bass.
too much bass. Believe me, there can be too much bass. I've witnessed what this world is like with too much bass.
If my ears aren't rubbling, then what's the point? There's so many noise complaints.
Yeah, this man is countryside. Like I live maybe 50 meters from the tree line. This guy probably lives in the tree line, pretty much. That's the easiest way to compare the sort of location, but I'd say that's kind of amazing for this guy's case. Yes, he's a bass player as well. That's great though. But yeah, if I ever need a bass line, I am turning to this guy right away. If I ever need cosmic sounding stuff or just some real wild sounding stuff, I'm turning to this guy.
Perfect. Oh, because I am a space captain. I need my space noises for the next couple of months. Yeah. Yep.
Yep, this man should have you covered. Anyhow, perfect. Let's see. What time is it? Let's see. Is it into the AMs yet for you?
It's midnight. Like, I'm the type of person who's just like, what's the time? Oh, it's not 4? Oh, okay.
Oh boy, yeah. Do you have managed to break the record for longest interview so far? In which case?
9. Yeah, because I can talk for stupidly hours.
Yes,
that's why I stream in the first place.
Apparently you have been talking for quite a while already. Good lord.
I mean, a conversation is without another person, you know? So you've been technically talking for a very long time as well.
Me, the longest I had to talk was for like 8 to 12 hours, I think it was. And that was from the moment I got home into the early morning. Because a friend of mine wanted to... What was it? A friend of mine wanted to go ahead and finish her video for her cover. And yeah. That one was just stay in voice chat and don't stop talking. Let's see.
God.
Did I have an uptime command? I think I might have. There we go.
Yeah.
3 hours 23. Not too bad. On my end, that's probably one of the longer kinds of streams I go.
Good. Good lord. Oh man. Oh, is it my stream's just 7 to 12. I think the longest I've ever been is 12.9 hours according to like Twitch.
You are your blood is made of caffeine. I'm not particularly surprised.
Oh god. Yeah, and like sometimes I kind of wish I went longer, but I have some old engineers up in this part of the spaceship that kind of like peeks in at the gremlin hours, and they're like, "Are you sleeping? You have work like earthly duties pretty soon." And I'm like,
I normally cap myself at midnight unless I've got exceptional circumstances, pretty much. Because it's a case of everyone in my household is a very early riser, so they're all more or less asleep by 11, and I probably should be as well in some cases. I don't know. Nerisvok here, yeah, he can probably attest to the numbers of times I've turned up to class hungover, or at least completely out of it.
Oh my god. Yeah, if I try not to drink on a weekday, yeah, because I know I'm gonna be screwed the next day anyway. God.
For me, the first class on a Tuesday is just like, I don't really want to be in here, but they're teaching like the bare essentials, so it's like, yeah.
Speaking of shit, I just forgot to turn in my hours for last week. Well,
Oh boy, that's another email, I guess.
yeah, man, I really gotta fix that sleeping schedule. But I keep saying that to myself, but like since I think VR chat, I've really fucked it up. Really screwed it up. Because I was also learning a language in VR chat, so it's like
wait, what language?
Korean. So like the only time I ever got to speak to the native was during the gremlin hours in the beginning. Oh,
Try some Korean now, then. In which case,
try some Korean right now with my 1 month of...
Whatever introduction in Korean. Well, try your own introduction in Korean.
Okay. 안녕하세요. 저는 릴루입니다. Oh god. wait, oh fuck, what was the no, 아니. 저는 23살입니다.
You tried.
I have to remember it. Oh god, and whenever my Korean teachers show up to stream, I'm just like, 오랜만에요. I swear I'm still learning. Now, like, see, this is why I'm like, maybe should I make my own, like, I guess learning streams for Korean so I can get back onto learning again?
Just something to kick you in the backside. Oh boy.
Basically, that, or at least like I said before, like I feel like streams are the only way I can be very productive. Aside from that, like if I'm not on stream, I feel like I'm just gonna sleep throughout the whole day. Yeah.
I've done that a couple of times in past. Wake up, sleep, drink, sleep again. Because drink made me pass out, sleep again.
Oh god.
And the loop continues.
God.
I think I did that for an entire week once. Yeah, there was an entire week right at the start of quarantine where everything shut down and I don't think I was sober for a day.
Oh my god. God, you're worse than my drinking buddy.
Believe me, my drinking buddy is even worse than me.
Oh my god.
It's to the point where they've stopped using the term alcoholic and just gone with the term alcophile.
Oh my god.
That makes more sense to him. Because man is a biologist and writing upper thesis at this point, but yeah, that guy, one hell of a drinker.
Well, oh god. Wait, you said he's a biologist?
Yep, he's a biologist, and one time he turned up to the lab and... Let's see, he turned up to the lab with a bottle of tonic, I think maybe 2 bottles of tonic actually, and a full bottle of Tanqueray's gin, and yeah, well, Tanqueray's London Dry. And he went through the entire thing while he was running his experiments.
Oh my god, I'm surprised the instructor or no one else smelled the alcohol. Holy smokes.
He had the lab to himself, because yeah, he is practicing biologist now.
Oh, well.
This was at a certain prestigious university. We don't talk about that. like this is the kind which is in like the top 100. So good lab.
Oh,
it was a big enough bottle that he would need two whole bottles of gin of tonic to supply it.
Okay, I had a minor panic attack thinking that my earthly duties manager submitted the timesheet for me, but no, I'm still okay. Oh god. Okay, that gave me a heart attack because I would be getting an email saying, "Hey, you forgot to submit your timesheet again." What in the fuck? Oh wait, never mind. Okay. Whew.
Okay, let's see. As one last question for the night, because I'm probably going to need to grab some dinner sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
So one last question for the night. If you were to cover something at some point, what song would you be looking to cover?
Ooh, there's 2 songs. There's, okay, one song I've been really I've been kind of eyeing for, but I don't know if it's going to fit the range that I usually sing in. So I've been just kind of like practicing it. But do you know the game Amori?
Omori? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it at
So
least,
there's
yeah.
yeah. So there's like that song that plays at the very end, and there's not many like covers out for that song yet, and I kind of want to do that song.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's that one. And then there's also oh wait, what's that one song? It's I think someone offered to do like what you might call it, like the mixing for me, but I was like, I don't make people do stuff for me for free. If that makes sense. I don't like. Yeah, if
No,
someone's like,
it's
"Oh, let me
good
do it for
policy.
free,"
It's good policy.
yeah, because you know what? Well, one, you don't want it biting you in the back later on, but like two, if you're gonna work hard, you need to be paid for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
don't do things for free. Well, aside from that one, is I think what's the name of the song? It's part of like Steven Universe. If you know Steven
Ah,
Universe.
okay, yeah.
Uh,
I know one song in it. Not sure if it would be the same song. I think it was Stronger Than You was the one I knew. But that was about it.
oh, that one. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's not that one. It was like a different song. I completely forgot the name.
Because they have a decent few there.
Yeah, but those are the two songs that I would have. I was gonna. Was I gonna cover that one? I literally like this is why I haven't really released covers. Like I did sing some of this stuff. I just never sent this to anyone. God. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to commission people for like tuning and mixing.
Generally speaking, it's send in raw vocals and they will handle the rest.
Does the raw vocals have to be cut already? Like,
Let's see, it depends. If the mixer themselves wants you to have already timed the stuff, then generally speaking you should time it and get it set accordingly. If the timing is part of their services, then just raw vocals will do it.
okay. Yeah, then I'll probably do it the way I think I might have to send in the raw vocals, but yeah, at least that's something to keep in mind.
Let's see, one thing I find interesting with that response is you chose 2 English songs rather than what a lot of people normally choose, which is they go straight for the Japanese stuff.
See, the thing is, like for me, if I were to cover something that's not in like a fluent language that I know, it would be Korean, since I am technically learning Korean. I'm not a big fan of like singing a song that is not in my language if it's not something that I am really gonna be effortlessly like learning, if that makes sense.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Even though I know a good chunk of the community likes their Japanese songs.
Japanese pronunciation. I have a lot to say on that one. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Like, if I'm gonna butcher something, I might as well butcher something that I'm trying to actively learn, not in something that I'm not learning it.
For me, for Japanese, I've pretty much been singing it since I started taking singing more seriously, so it's probably what I'd consider what I'm better at, because, yeah. When I try and sing in English, it's a 50-50 shot. I either don't hit the note and it sounds awkward as hell, or it's perfectly fine, but it's just English.
Yeah, it's man. I think I've like sometimes I think I've only done maybe like 2 karaoke streams, and a lot of like my crew is like, "Oh, you should do another karaoke stream." But like the amount of songs I know in terms of things of singability or at least learning stuff, it always kind of like waters down to like the classic rock I listened to before I got into like I guess like Korean music, and then you got the what was it, the K rock, the K-pop, and the K R&B. That's all the stuff I know. And then I guess you have your like Disney songs, your musical songs, and then your old, very old like golden Hollywood songs that I know how to sing to. That's about everything I know. Anything outside of that, like someone's like, "Oh, can you sing this Japanese song?" I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna scuff it for you, but if you wish, I'll try." And then I kind of like forget about it because it's been a while since I've really like listened to anything like I guess Japanese song related.
Yeah, personally, I have a little song request, what's it? Song request redeem, and that thing has a Google spreadsheet. which lists off most of the songs I can sing. Or at
Oh,
least,
that's nice.
or at least confidently try to sing.
Are they mostly like Japanese songs or
Yeah,
just?
it's mostly Jap stuff. There's some weird English ones mixed in here and there. One that is specifically from a certain film series, of which more or less doxes me, but yeah, that's funny, that one. If anyone ever
Oh.
chooses that one, which is pretty hilarious. It doxes my first name, at least.
No.
But it's such a
What?
common first name that it just really doesn't matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's common, though, can't really do anything about that.
To put it simply, for someone who had come, or from someone who's from a import kind of family, refugee sort of family, this name is the equivalent of calling your son John Smith. So, yeah.
Oh.
There really is no... Yeah. There's really no loss on my part if anyone finds out my name. Like, if I ever get IRLs up on my stream, then I don't particularly mind if they slip up and call me it. So, yeah, no worries for myself on that end. But yeah. But yeah, good reasoning for doing songs in a language you can speak decently, I suppose.
Yeah. Cause, man. Like, everyone assumes, like, I mean, I am technically a weeb if you think about it. Like, most of these people, like, we all came into here already knowing about, like, anime.
Not
'Cause
just knowing about
I mean, what
anime,
else?
you've tried to become anime, pretty much.
Become anime. Inhale VTuber gas.
Oh god, wait, what the... Hold up.
That's what happened
Inhale.
to me. Inhale VTuber.
Oh, that is a
That's what
horrifying
happened to me.
image.
It went from me staring at myself in the mirror in VR chat to, oh, look, I'm 2D. Oh my goodness.
Oh lord.
If you can't beat them, join them. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
freaking right, yo.
Oh lord. Wait, what? You made a VTuber gas video? Wait, hold up, what?
Oh, I did! Technically, I did, didn't I? Oh, wait, hold on. Let's see if I can actually find it. Did I put it on my SBB feed? Let's see if I did.
God.
See if I did. Oh, I guess I didn't. I never put... I really need to start putting stuff on my SBB feed.
Oh,
Did I
no.
put it on my memes channel? Yeah, I did a little, like... You remember how I said I did, like, dub recordings and then edits?
Yeah.
So one of them was I invited one of my I guess VTuber friends for I call it the quick draw v voice acting and it's like I don't know if you know C. Connor from YouTube. He's a YouTuber, but he does a lot of like I guess like voice acting. YouTube content, and one of the things that I kind of like, I basically grabbed from his channel, and kind of like made it my own since I can't really like do cuts and stuff, since I haven't done really any YouTube videos. But I invited like 2 artist streamers onto my channel, and we basically like kind of like the little channel which gets 2 million subs.
Hold up.
I love Connor so much, but oh, what was it? So I invited 2 artists, and what we did was that we basically like I put a bunch of like character archetypes in like a random sorter, and then I kind of like chose randomly, and then we were supposed to draw that archetype the way we imagined it to be, and we were supposed to like voice over, kind of like improvise voice act what the character would sound like. So that was interesting. And then later on, I kept one of the VTubers on board while I was doing a kind of like a quick like VTuber meme edit that I do voiceovers for, which is just like a Twitter media thing that I usually post, or I used to post like back when I wasn't streaming often, or I haven't streamed yet, because well, I haven't stopped streaming since the day I started streaming.
Good lord.
Never had a break yet. It's been 3 times a week, yo. Oh my god. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know if I can find it quickly, but like I feel like a lot of like my current followers, they've never seen my edits before. I've done a lot of edits before. And like every time I retweet my old stuff, they always get surprised. They're like, "Oh my goodness, since when can you do this?"
Oh boy.
Oh, never mind. I retweet so many things. No, I retweet too many skebs. Okay.
Scabs. Oh
Oh, I
boy.
found it.
Phew,
Well, that was quick.
I'm gonna sidestep the topic of scab because oh god.
Oh god, that's a whole different beast to wrangle with. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is a horrifying beast to wrangle with. I'm glad I wrangled that with Blue early.
Oh my god. Oh, Blue. Oh, Blue.
That one
Oh,
is...
Blue. Blue is also another reason why I had that addiction. Anyway, yeah.
Oh,
Aside
God.
from that's the reason why I'm even on his Discord to begin with, just to go through Skeb.
The scab artists.
Goes
Oh,
into
God.
DMs. Give me your damn links, you dingle.
Christ alive.
Oh boy, we love it here. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do a lot of edits like that. I need to go back on those edits. I feel like a lot of people like them. I also need to make YouTube, not YouTube, YouTube videos about these edits. Because I think a lot of people start off like that before they start putting the YouTubing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having other content to go through is nice, or always nice. Like, for instance, Blue, even that guy started off as a Shadowverse content creator, actually. And has some odd ties in that community. So, well, some interesting ties in that community, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
Yeah, the whole YouTubing side.
anyhow, it's come to the point where a dude just bashed down my door the other moment, and I'm glad that my filter managed to cut that out.
Time for food. Smells like
pretty
it.
much.
Let's go get that grub.
Anyway, yep, thank you for coming on the show.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
The first time that I actually have a name for this damn show. God damn it.
I know. I feel very special to be on the first time you named the show. I think the last time I watched your your interview thingy, it was like, I don't know what to name this show, is what you said during the interview.
Yeah, quite literally. I have no idea what to call this damn thing.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Oh, this one's an interesting one. Let's see. Do I want to raid someone who's playing Grand Blue, or do I want to raid someone who's playing Demon Souls?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Take your pick between the two.
I am a big From Software fan, so Demon Souls is kind of hitting me up, yo.
Alright, let's go for it.
Demon Souls. Wait, is it Taika?
Yeah, it's Taika.
Taika, let's go, baby. Is it Taika? Oh my god, I love Taika. Taika is a homie.
Taika's
love
a good
Taika.
fella. Yeah.
I want more spotlight on him. He's very funny.
Oh, Jowser, yeah. Interviews will be up on YouTube at some point, so I'll post a link to that later on as I get them up. Anyhow, in 5, 4, 3, 2,
Bye
1,
bye.
send them off to Taika. Oh boy.
Taika. Yeah, Taika rated me last time, I think. Yeah, so it's nice. Taika. Demon Souls.
Alright, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we are off